here in the Bronx. And the big left-hander deals. Fastball outside. We are underway.
Flash, you talked about how left-handers have trouble, and I can remember facing him right when he came in the league, and it was not a comfortable at bat. Back then he was a little more wild, but he always had that power fastball. Good guy to, you know, kind of stay light on your feet from the left side of the plate.
Popped up behind the plate. Molina gives it a look, but it's out of play.
And you hear lefties go on a good run where left-handed hitters don't get hits, but 22 starts consecutively, incredible.
Take a look at the Home Depot Yankee defense in the outfield. Damon Gardner and Cabrera. Nick Swisher's elbow still sore from getting hit yesterday. In the infield, Pena, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira. That's third to first. Molina behind the plate. Sabathia is on the mound. Jeter's yet to make an error at shortstop in 23 games this year. And a strike. Boy, there was rain in the forecast today, and boy, they got that wrong. It's a gorgeous day. The sun started to peek through at about 12 now. The field is bathed in sunlight. And the 1-2. Line drive, foul. Speaking of weather, let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. 58 degrees, 65% humidity, not much wind. And the forecast is for cloudy, a few late showers. And the 1-2. Line drive to center field. Gardner makes the play on the dive, one away.
You know, it's funny. There's a tale of two people right there. You look at the hitter and you're like, you know, how can you start off a day there? Drives the ball to center field. Gardner gets a great jump on it, makes a great place. On the other hand, he's off to a great start in the game.
Brett Gardner came in last night after Nick Swisher had to leave the ball game with that right elbow being hit by a pitch, and had a good at bat late in the ball game and a nice start to today's game.
Here's Gary Matthews. And a strike.
Very comfortable last night from both sides of the plate. Hit the ball hard every time out in the box. So this is a guy, Anaheim, I mean, they've got so many injuries. You've got to find a couple other guys to help Hunter to score some runs. Bullpen's not holding lead, so you know you're going to have to score some runs to win games.
One. Outside 2-1.
Gary Matthews Jr., a guy who came into spring training complaining about playing time, wanted some more at bats, and he's going to get it with Vladimir Guerrero on the disabled list. Had a big night last night.
Had left knee surgery, and they did not expect him back till the end of May, and he really rehabbed and was ready to go in spring training. And Mike Scioscia had to tell him, listen, there's really no spot for you right now. You're going to be the fifth outfielder. That was when Guerrero was still healthy. And they sent Matthews home that day to collect himself, and he came back with a good attitude. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. Matthews down on strikes.
I'll tell you what, we're 10 pitches into this ball game, and CC Sabathia has already thrown a few changeups. This is a nice slider. Matthews tries to hold up. He cannot. But good signs early for CC Sabathia, locating the fastball on both sides. He's had a good changeup and a nasty slider there.
And that'll bring up Howie Kendrick. Kendrick 40 for 87 lifetime against the Yankees. That's .460. And a strike.
Well, pitching looks easy when you have control of all three pitches. You're right. I mean, he's thrown his changeup. He's had a good pop on his fastball, and his breaking ball has been a big breaker too. And he's throwing them all for strikes.
Right in on the fist, popped up, right side, Teixeira over, and he runs out of room. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound, HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball right here on Yes.
Yeah, that pitch right there, in on the hands of Kendrick, up and into a righty. That's the pitch I think CC is really going to make him effective and lock him in. It's kind of like David Wells. He would throw that ball in on righty so easy. A very effective pitch.
The 0-2. 1-2.
I heard Kim Jones in our pregame show telling us that Kendrick 5 for 6 off of Sabathia, so he's hit the Yankees well in the past and also hit Sabathia well.
Did he go? No. So Todd taking over at first.
Very fortunate to still be at the plate here. I mean, that breakup ball was close and the check swing was close. So the two options to be called out, and neither of them worked.
That actually looked as if he did check. The 2-2. He didn't check there. Kendrick goes down on strikes. That's an impressive first inning for CC Sabathia. A line drive by Figgins, a strikeout of Matthews, and this strikeout of Kendrick. Angels go down in order. Angels nothing. The Yankees coming to bat. Johnny Damon. The number 3 hitter, first baseman Mark Teixeira. Hideki Matsui's been red hot on 11-game hitting streak. He's a DH. He's going to clean up. Batting 5th and playing second base. He owns an 18-game hitting streak. Robinson Cano. Melky Cabrera's on right field batting 7. Check that 6. Batting 7th is the catcher, Jose Molina. Ramiro Pena at third base will hit 8th. And batting 9th is Brett Gardner.
30-year-old rookie Matt Palmer. It's going to be his second start. He's 1-0 with the ERA of 6 in that one outing. 3 walks and 5 hits in 6 innings. We'll take a look at our Jeep pitcher scouting report. And it's another audition for a young major league pitcher for the Angels with all the injuries they've had in their rotation. He's had some control issues in the minor leagues, or in the big leagues actually. 18 2/3 inning. He's walked 16 hitters. And he's looking for weapons to get lefties out. Lefties 11 walks, no strikeouts this year. So a guy who's not overpowering, a little sinker, a little cutter, will roll a curveball in there, an occasional changeup. Not an overpowering pitcher.
Here's Derek Jeter to lead off. And a strike.
I always consider guys like this that perfect pitchers, where they had to be pretty much perfect to get out. And if they start missing with their stuff, they're going to have a tough day. And it's a tough day. I mean, it's a tough way to. So Derek taking one where Swisher took one yesterday. All riding up and in. And you know, Derek, he gets leaning out over that plate. Can't get out of the way, but not much of a chance there.
Well, unlike Nick Swisher, Derek has a little pad on that elbow, so that's going to help him out a little bit. Yeah, Nick last night did not have a pad on that right elbow, so that definitely left a bruise, but Derek looks like he's all right.
Joe Girardi said before the game that he's hoping to have Nick Swisher in the game tomorrow, receiving treatment before the game, and there he is, just a spectator today.
Flashback to what I was talking about. I mean, for You see Swisher's going to take one on the other left, and that ball right there, I mean, by the end of the game, I mean, his elbow's immobile. You can't move it. You can't hit. I mean, it just it takes you out of the game. Back to Palmer's thing. I mean, Flash, catching the game, but the guys that don't have overpowering stuff, they have to continually make perfect pitches control-wise. It makes a tough job to go out there and try to make a perfect pitch every time.
That was Jeter putting on the pad before he took the at bat, so that helps out a bit. That's fouled away.
We talked about CC Sabathia and how he has to pitch inside on right-handed batters. A guy like Palmer who doesn't throw hard, you have to throw pitches in off the plate to get hitters off of leaning out over, but when you don't have that overpowering stuff. We were watching Mike Mussina last year when his velocity really dropped, and he was pitching inside more last year than he did at any other time in his career.
Jared Weaver from yesterday actually pitched a pretty good ball game. The Angel bullpen could not keep it together. That one's popped up. Brandon Wood makes the play, 1 out. Let's take a look at the Angels defense, brought to you by Home Depot. In the outfield, you've got Juan Rivera, Torrey Hunter, and Gary Matthews Jr. Torrey Hunter has not made an error in 185 games. In the infield, Wood, Ibar, Kendrick, and Morales third and first. Napoli behind the plate, Palmer on the mound. Angels have made 17 errors this season, most in the American League, and that's not a Mike Scioscia sort of team. Here's Mark Teixeira. Mark 3 hits in his last 26 at-bats. Runner goes. Throw to second. I think he got off of Jeter or maybe even Ibar, as Jeter is safe and Ibar's down. Jeter slow up. Jeter slow getting to his feet. And Mick Kelleher quickly out to see what's up.
I think Ibar got a ricochet here onto his face or his chin. Yeah.
Well, hit Jeter's helmet first, and then ricocheted into Ibar's face. And then Jeter kind of jams his shoulder and his neck against the right knee of Ibar.
And Napoli, we've talked about him the last couple of days, more of an offensive catcher, a short throw, a short hop. Looked like he got the left cheek of Ibar.
Got people banged up all over in this place.
Gene Monahan getting a lot of TV time today already. Looks like Derek maybe strained his neck a little bit.
Well, you can see Ibar cut something in his mouth. He just spit out blood. Looks like they're going to take him out of the game. So Jeter's neck obviously a little stiff, but he's going to stay in the game. And Ibar looks like he got hit in the mouth, and you can see his lip, his upper lip is all swollen. Wow. They're going to put Meister Estoris in that shortstop. Ibar will get that lip tended to. As for Jeter, it's his 5th stolen base. He didn't get his 5th stolen base until June 19th of last year. You can see he's still a little bit shook up. And there's a new Angel shortstop.
Nobody wants to get injured. You can see Derek still moving his neck around. Looks like he's got a stiff neck, and that's something you can't hide from right there, Paul. You know, when you go to hit, you turn and look at the pitcher. You always feel it. When you throw, you feel it.
once in a while when you slide head first, you kind of jam it back. And you're right. There's nothing you can do on a field that if your neck hurts, it's going to show up, whether it's throwing the ball or running or hitting.
Now, we mentioned that Teixeira has been struggling, and you see how Jeter hurt the neck right there, running into the knee of Ibar. But Joe Girardi was really impressed by Teixeira's walk in the bottom of the 9th inning yesterday against Brian Fuentes. He said, because if there's any time that you're going to get out of what you do and be anxious and try to be the hero, it's then. But he still took his walks. He said, and he's 3rd in the American League in walks, which he is behind Bay and Scudero. He's tied with Cust. He's worked the count 3-1 right here. And Teixeira walks. Paul, is there ever a time where you're too selective?
Yeah, I think there is. I mean, a lot of times you are like caught in between. You almost like freeze up there, and you don't pull the trigger on good pitches, and you continue to look up at that scoreboard, and you're 0-2, 1-2, and then you're in trouble. And especially when you don't feel well at the plate, you're right. There's too many things going on in your mind, and you just don't let it go. You don't swing at strikes, and then you end up going out of the zone when you're down in the count.
That was Teixeira's 19th walk this year. Here's Hideki Matsui. Pitches inside Matsui with an 11-game hitting streak.
Well, you get the feeling that last night the Yankees big comeback in the 8th inning, finish it off in the 9th inning with Jorge Posada. You come out here in the 1st, if you're the Angels, all of a sudden runners in scoring position. Hideki Matsui's up there. Well, you can deflate a team real quickly. You score in the 1st inning.
Especially a team that's off to a tough start. I mean, the Angels are used to being winning clubs here in the last 5 or 6 years, and all of a sudden you look at the scoreboard and they're losing record. They're on the road, and teams, even good teams, get in a habit of losing, and it takes a while or a good win or something to turn that around.
Line drive, base hit to right field. Jeter's going to round 3rd. Here he comes. The throw from Matthews cut off. Moving to 3rd is Teixeira. It's an RBI single for Hideki Matsui. It's a 12-game hitting streak for Hideki Matsui. It's a 1-0 lead for the Yankees.
The Yankees just continue what they did at the end of the ball game last night. Hideki Matsui has his legs underneath him, driving the ball better. Just takes a pitch down and away and drills it to right field. And Derek Jeter, with a stiff neck and all, gets a nice jump off the second base. Third base coach Rob Thompson waving him in. Matthews a strong throw just up the line a little bit that Morales cuts.
Looked like that ball was tailing away. Wasn't going to end up at the plate, so good decision to cut that ball off there. But that's one of the strong points of Derek Jeter, and that's why he scores 100 runs every single year. He runs the bases well. He scores on balls. I mean, you get a slow runner on there, they might hold you at 3rd there. Who knows? Derek Jeter, that's one of his strengths, is running the bases.
Here's Robinson Cano, runners on 1st and 3rd, and he gets jammed and hits a slow roller back to the mound. The throw to 1st, they just got Cano. And moving to 2nd is Matsui. Staying put at 3rd is Teixeira.
That's one of the weapons for Palmer. It's a little cut fastball, and it surprises Robinson Cano. Up and in, just fights it off. You started thinking he might have had an infield single to extend that hitting streak, as hot as he has been, but a nice play by Palmer coming off the mound. And nowhere really for Teixeira to go. Had to hold up.
Flash, you go back to the dugout after a bat like that, and you're just over in your mind. Are you kidding me? I didn't even swing. I'm 0 for 1. I feel great at the plate. Like, there's no mulligans out here. That's the only problem.
Boy, Mike Butcher has made many appearances on that mound in these 3 games. He's trying to kind of coddle these young pitchers or these rookie pitchers through every single outing. Take a look at the umpires today. Dana DeMuth is behind the plate. Todd Tickenor is the first base ump. Doug Eddings is over at 2nd. And Hunter Wendelstedt is over at 3rd. Here's Melky Cabrera. And there's a strike. Melky has a 6-game hitting streak. A lot of the Yankees have hitting streaks. With runners in scoring position, the Yankees have been red hot as well. 19 for the last 39. That's 487. Shattered bat and a ground ball to Astouris. And for the most part, Matt Palmer gets out relatively unscathed. 1 run scores on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left. Yankees lead the Angels 1-0 on Yes. Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. By Sponge Tech, the world's leading ultimate one-step wash and wax system. And by Firestone, a tradition of innovation. Boy, the ballpark looks great today. It really does. Outside, inside as well. Just a jewel of a place here on 161st and River Avenue. The freeze over the grandstand. Any ballpark looks good when it's relatively filled up, and this place is brimming today with people, and it's just a gorgeous day as well. Great day for baseball, a Saturday afternoon in the Bronx.
You must have had a nice night last night. Peter positive this morning. Wow.
Here's Torrey Hunter.
True writing class is coming out with a description. Did you ink that down before you said it, or that was just
off the top of my head? So you came in fired up today. That fired me up. Pitch upstairs. The chef in the kitchen behind us made you a nice grilled chicken.
Awesome. Put you right where you need to be.
Yeah.
You know?
1-1. 2-1. Sabathia looked so good in the first inning. 3 up, 3 down, 2 strikeouts. Really locating his fastball. Tap slowly, right side. Cano will get Hunter. 1 away.
CC Sabathia threw a couple of fastballs in on Hunter, about 94, 95 miles an hour, and then drops a 2-1 changeup away. And that's a tough at bat. Like you said, Michael, looks like he's got it all going on early in this ball game.
Here's Mike Napoli. 3-game hitting streak, 6 for 11 during the streak. Inside, 1-0.
Mike Napoli on the upswing. I mean, last year he came off career highs on average hits, home runs. He pretty much became a good hitter last year. He's a power guy. I mean, this is an impressive stat. All-time Major League history of catchers with at least 50 home runs. His home run to at-bat ratio, 1 for every 15.3 at-bats. That's the best in history since they've been keeping that. And back to form. I mean, they're hoping his off-season shoulder surgery isn't an issue this year, but he's been off to a good start in this series, especially swinging the bat well.
Mike Scioscia has a nice mix with his catchers. Napoli, who swings the bat, has power, doesn't throw real well, but does a nice job with the staff. And Jeff Mathis, who caught last night's ball game, a solid defensive player who's getting better with the bat. Nice platoon system he has going, where Napoli getting more reps behind the plate.
And Napoli walks. Very patient. Let's look at the American Airlines upcoming schedule. One more game against the Angels. That's tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock, and that game's going to be on Yes. And then the Red Sox come to town Monday and Tuesday. Yankees will try to avenge the 3-game sweep at Fenway. And both games are at night, both games at 7, both games on Yes.
A lot has to do with, if you looked at this time of the schedule, in the offseason, you see, man, we're going to play Anaheim, then we're going to play Boston. You would think this is really going to be a tough little stretch. But a lot of times you can face teams at a good time or a bad time. And right now you're facing a good Anaheim team that's not playing their best baseball because of injuries. Their pitching staff's been beat up. Vladimir Guerrero's out of the lineup. So, you know, to hit them early in the year when they're not hitting stride, you know, the Yankees might have caught a break here.
Well, that changeup's really working as Kenji Morales swings and misses.
Yeah, Morales, a switch hitter. We've only seen him left-handed. Right-handed hitting 154. Nice changeup down in the zone. Good action at the end to finish it. Morales looks like he's got a little longer swing right-handed than he does left-handed.
One and two.
Flash, you got it all working. He's seen the changeup, he's seen the fastball, and this at bat. So you, as a catcher, you, what the heck? I might as well throw a breakup ball too. They're all working, right?
Got a lot of options. Go slider down and in, fastball up and in.
It's like the up and in variety on the throw.
Angels' game plan is to run. They do a lot of it. Line drive to center field. It's a base hit. First base hit for the Angels as Napoli will stop at second. Kenji Morales with a single. First and second, one out.
It looked like the first fastball that CC missed with his location. Kind of tried to slide step and rush his delivery to home. The location maybe suffered a little bit. Ball was pretty much middle of the plate. Morales drills it to center.
And Flash, you can comment on this. I mean, sometimes, if you watch that at bat, in my mind, I was thinking break a ball in or something in off the plate, and you were too. But all of a sudden, you know, you start worrying about the running game. And as a catcher, sometimes you want to put that one finger down where you get an opportunity to throw out a guy.
I think Jose Molina behind the plate. I mean, you really don't have to worry about the running game as much as you would maybe with Jorge Posada coming back from the shoulder surgery, because he's so quick, so accurate. CC Sabathia, this looked like a little slide step there, rushes delivery and made a poor pitch, and he paid for it.
30th pitch of the game for Sabathia is inside.
It was interesting to hear Andy Pettit say that he really probably paid too much attention last night to the runners and got him out of whack a little bit. There's a fine line there for a pitcher. You know, you want to make sure you take care of the guy at the plate. You respect the running game. There's only so much you can do.
Punched out right field. It's a base hit. Napoli's in around third. Charging is Cabrera. They'll hold Napoli up as Cabrera comes up throwing. So the base is loaded with one out.
And we talked about a last inning where Derek Jeter scores on that base hit. And here's kind of the same situation. Obviously, with one out, you don't want to take a chance. But a little slower runner, Napoli, not Jeter's instincts and things like this, kind of hung up to see if this ball was going to fall in. Now, as a pitcher, you still got an opportunity to get out of this inning with a double play without a run scored. Vera kind of fights it in off. Sabathia got in on him, but not quite enough.
Sabathia walked Napoli, and pitching out of the stretch, his location has not been as good. Back-to-back base hits.
Here's Brandon Wood. Got called up on April 21st from AAA. And a strike.
Well, this is where scouting reports come into play. I mean, Brandon Wood, a guy that people really don't know a lot about. He had 43 home runs in the minor leagues in 05. For a shortstop, he's playing third base today, but he's in a situation here. He comes up, the Yankees don't know a whole lot about him. You make a mistake, this kid can drive a ball.
It's funny, you hear about guys hitting 40 or 50 home runs, but seldom do you hear about them in the minor leagues. I mean, it's harder to hit that many home runs in the minor leagues than it is in the major leagues because of a lot of the ballparks. 43 home runs in the minor leagues. I don't care if it's A-ball, rookie ball, anything. That's a lot of home runs.
Yeah, he was a first-round pick in 03 for the Angels. We saw him maybe last year or the year before come up and play a little shortstop. He's got some serious pop.
Could not hold up. He goes down swinging. Third strikeout for Sabathia.
There's that slider that we were thinking maybe he was going to throw to Morales. We'll look at the pitch by pitch. Fastball, middle of the plate. Then he gets a slider up. That's the one he wants back. And then he gets a real good one. Down and in. Tries to hold up the swing. Gets a big strikeout if you're CC Sabathia.
Now here's Meiser Asturias. This would have been Eric Ibar, but he got hurt on Jeter's stolen base of second. And Asturias came into play short, takes pitch outside, 1-0. Swing and a miss.
So a lot of off-speed pitches, 2 changeups and a slider is Turris. You know, and that pitch count pops up there, and I got to get my mind away from the pitch count with CC Sabathia. I mean, he's a guy who looks like Joe Girardi's going to let him go. 120, 130 pitches. You always think 100 pitches would be that magical number. It doesn't seem that way with CC and Joe Girardi.
Line drive right at Cano. So Asturias hit the ball hard, but didn't pick the right spot. So CC gets out of his first jam as the Angels leave the bases loaded. We go to the bottom of the second. Tri-state area Audi dealers. Audi, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees. Having a good time in the Audi suite. And we go to the bottom of the second inning. Matt Palmer trailing 1-0. Bottom third of the Yankee order. Molina will start it off. There's a strike. Outside. Count 1-1.
Jose Molina getting a start today. Day game after a night game. Jorge Posada, that big game-winning hit last night. It's to relax for a few innings on the bench today.
Driven the other way. John, we always hear that catchers, when they get a day off, it's day game after night game. How much is the body beat up day game after night game?
Well, it's not that it's beat up. I just think the routine of your day is totally different. I mean, you know, you're used to having a night game where you get to the park at maybe 3 o'clock, go through your routine, the hitting in the cage, get ready to catch, and then all of a sudden a day game comes quickly. I always thought it was a nice opportunity to give that backup, you know, where you know you're going to play and your starter knows he's going to have a day off. Maybe you hit the weight room a little bit more if you're Jorge Posada. But be ready to pinch hit at the end of this ball game.
Grounded to short is Torres. One away. So if you're not playing, that's the day to lift more weights? Because if you can't lift that much when you're going to play?
It's funny. When you get in a habit of playing every day and then you get a day off and you do absolutely nothing, you actually feel worse the next day. You're just so tight and so stiff. So you're better off to get some weights in, some running, some throwing. You let your mind kind of relax, but you don't let your body relax because it'll tighten up. You're better off doing something every day.
So what happens if you do that and you're not starting and then all of a sudden you have to pinch hit?
Well, then you got to turn that mind on real quick because, I mean, that's why pinch hitting to me is probably the hardest part of this game. Guys that can do that have learned to be able to turn that switch on. But to sit and absolutely do nothing physically throughout the year, it just doesn't work. And I tell you, the All-Star break was the worst. If you would take an All-Star break off for 3 days and do nothing, you'd come back and felt like you haven't played in a month. And your body felt horrible. It's just what your body gets used to doing, and you got to stay with that routine.
You're right. I had to throw a baseball over the All-Star break that last day. Just when you came back, you could at least get it down to second base. A day off is not a day off. I mean, it's just a time to, I think importantly, you said mentally give yourself a little break.
So that's interesting. The All-Star break isn't really something that, you know, recharges your batteries. It might set you back.
It does mentally. I mean, you definitely need it and you definitely use it. But if you do absolutely nothing for 3 days, you come back, you just physically, you don't feel well. It's almost like, you know, you're not ready to go. And you know, the last few years of when I played, the managers actually called workouts, little pre-workouts for the game. And I always thought that it helped you. I mean, it got you much more ready to start that second half of the season.
2-2.
It's amazing how, I don't want to say mindless, but players get in their routines, their daily routines where they do the same thing every day. You go to the cage, you do your soft toss, and it just becomes a habit every day of the routine. And when you get out of that routine, you feel like you're lost.
As Pena swings and misses, he battled Palmer, but ends up losing that battle.
Taking a look at Palmer, and got a little finish at the end, a little cut action. Doesn't move a whole lot, but just enough for Pena to swing underneath it.
A couple of rehab updates that might be of interest to Yankee fans. Alex Rodriguez played in an extended spring game in Tampa today. In 6 plate appearances against the Pirates team, he was 0 for 6 with 2 strikeouts. He did not run the bases. He fielded 5 innings at third and just fielded 1 ground ball. And in the same game, Chin-Ming Wong pitched 4 innings, did not allow a hit, Walked 2, struck out 3. He threw 52 pitches, 33 strikes.
I guess
what happened there, Flesh? Did he just figure out he didn't want to throw that pitch? Or he thought he was giving away location too quick?
No, you hate to think maybe there was an injury or something. They're going to talk about pitch location and pitch sequences and all that stuff. But usually when a guy starts his delivery and comes off, you get a little nervous. Maybe something happened. He tweaked something.
Like he was setting up and in, and it's like he just changed his mind at the end.
Grounded to first. Morales beats Gardner to the bag, and that'll do it as Palmer pitches a 1-2-3 second. We go to the third. Yankees hold a 1-0 lead over the Angels. HD channels and the fastest internet. This is Fios. This is big. Joe Saunders will go for the Angels. 3-1, 3.41. And Phil Hughes trying to follow up on that really good start against the Tigers. He's 1-0 so far this year. Coverage will begin at noon with the BP show. 12:30 is the pregame show, and 1:08 will be first pitch here at the stadium.
Looking forward to seeing Phil Hughes tomorrow. I mean, he covered a lot of different speeds in that start against Detroit. A good fastball, good cutter, and always has that nice curveball.
Modell scoreboard 1-0 Yankees, and Modell's the official sporting goods retailer of the Yankees.
It's funny because he could be one of those guys that you didn't expect to see him for a while. You know he's coming back sooner or later. But I mean, did you catch him at the right time? I mean, is he going to come up and rattle off 6 great wins, and all of a sudden he's part of your rotation? So, be interesting to see if he does come back after throwing a shutout there. I mean, that's it's hard to follow up. But I mean, Flash, you've seen him more than I have. I mean, he has the capability to do some things.
You know what I liked about him? The way he was accountable in spring training and said, I had a great opportunity last year. I didn't take advantage of it. That's my fault. And now I have to earn that right to get back. He's back, and he had a great first start.
That was his first big league win since 2007. And I said, did it feel like a long time? He said, yeah, it felt like forever.
You know what? I like the look in his eyes, though, watching that ball game. It looked like, I don't want to go back. I'm going to make sure that I'm not going back.
I mean, when you show up to this place, who wants to go back? Huh?
An update on Eric Ibar. He was struck in the upper left jaw on that steal of second base by Derek Jeter. He went to see Yankees team dentist Dr. Scott Levy. Dr. Levy thought he had a nice, comfortable Saturday off.
Now he's looking, did you ever go to the team dentist?
Mouth.
I never made it to the team dentist. I didn't even know we had one. Top
of the third inning, top of the Angels order, 2-2 to Sean Piggins. Upstairs. The Angels 9-13 coming into this game. The Yankees are 13-10. The Yankees have a 4-game winning streak. The Angels a 2-game losing streak. And the 3-2. Broken bat pop up towards short. Jeter's there. 1 out.
You can tell Jeet the way he's moving around out there. He's just, I mean, he's hurting a little bit. And Flash, you've had it. You talked about it. You had some neck problems, and there's not much you can do out there that it doesn't grab you.
Yeah, it's every time you lift your arms, you know, up over your shoulders, you feel it. You can see he's trying to work out the kinks.
There's Gary Matthews Jr. Big healthy Cub. Boy, that change has been effective for Sabathia today.
You're Gary Matthews Jr. too. I mean, you got to go up there hunting the fastball. You're looking for 95. He's locating it inside, and then you get a nice change up on the outside corner.
It was funny. His first at bat, I was very surprised he took a fastball right down the middle. So, you know, he comes up aggressive the next time. And there goes a good breaking ball. So, again, if you're Matthews, you're thinking, you know, what do I look for here? He's got all 3 pitches working. And all 3 pitches he's thrown today, his changeup, his breaking ball, and his fastball are all out pitches for anybody else. It's a tough one to hit there. Huh? Did you see Molina's target there, Michael? Huh?
Over his head.
That's right. It's a strike to Shaq.
Now, what's that maneuver there, John?
Come all the way through, you know, throw it right through me instead of throwing to home plate. You kind of power it through the plate and through the plate, but now they have him set up probably for an off-speed pitch. So a slider down and in.
Check swing. Did he go? No. Todd Tickenor.
What about the location, too? I mean, this is the second slider. It had been a check swing, and the pitch looked like it was pretty good.
Had to be low because it got the plate.
And Joe Girardi is barking at the home plate umpire, Dana DeMuth. Two. Stays alive.
You see the difference in pitching here is last night Matthews hit every single ball hard, but if you look at the replays, they were all pitches out over the plate, bad pitches. Sabathia has made him look, you know, like he doesn't have a chance to hit just by making quality pitches.
The 2-2 popped up behind the plate. Let's see if Molina has room. He does. 2 outs.
Molina catching with the sunglasses today. Matthews ball gets in on him, pops it up. Flash, you've made this play a few times.
You know what I was thinking? It's a lot easier here at the new stadium than the old place with all that foul territory behind home plate. There's a lot of room to cover. 20 feet less here at the new stadium makes the catcher's lives a little bit easier.
Here's Howie Kendrick. Driven out to right field. Giving chase is Cabrera toward the line. Dives and he makes the play. Melky Cabrera with a sparkler. Took an extra base hit away from Howie Kendrick. One after with a purpose. Timed the dive. Made it on the backhand. And then the belly flop. And CC liked it as he pitches a 1-2-3. or injury do the Angels miss the most? You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply, and here are your choices. Number 1, K-Rod. Number 2, Mark Teixeira. Number 3, John Lackey. Number 4, Vladimir Guerrero. Well, the way the bullpen's going for the Angels, you'd think it's K-Rod. As Derek Jeter leads off. Pitch outside from Palmer.
I don't know if you can text one person on that list. Too many things are, they missed Vlad in the offense. They missed the closer, but Lackey's really their anchor of their staff. So you're going to the bullpen route, Michael?
I think so.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that game last night. It was amazing that Arredondo and Fuentes just came in throwing fastball after fastball after fastball. Didn't really make any adjustments, and the Yankees made them pay.
So the Modell scoreboard, Yankees up 1-0. Modell's the official sporting goods retailer of the Yankees.
Arredondo, it's not like he doesn't have another option. He's got a great split finger. We saw him throw a couple just unhittable ones. So
to Johnny Damon, gave him a tough at bat. Pay attention to Derek Jeter this at bat with the neck stiffness, still moving it around. And this is go up there, try to swing a bat, see how it feels, see if you can make an adjustment to make it a little bit more comfortable.
Good numbers against the Angels lifetime. If you just joined us, the reason Jeter's neck is stiff, he was hit by a pitch in the first inning. That's not the reason the neck was stiff. And then and it's a fair ball. Kendry Morales steps on the bag. Now, Derek Jeter doesn't like the call. Mick Kelleher doesn't like the call. And Joe Girardi doesn't like the call. They might have to confer with the home plate ump.
It's a little cutter. It's that half swing. Morales probably should have done a better job of coming forward and getting it. You can see it looks like it bounced foul right before first base.
That ball is caught before first base. That's got to be the home plate umpire's call. Wow, looked like a foul ball.
Jeet had a good look at it. He was running
right
down
there.
there.
Yeah.
He doesn't argue very often, so probably saw it just missed the line.
Johnny Damon takes a pitch outside. Well, that neck is still bothering him. Lined into right field, giving Chase Matthews on the run. Oh, he makes a very off-balance play, but makes it nonetheless for the second out. Turned the wrong way and reached back, and the ball was right there.
Once in a while, as a right fielder, you take off and you think you're going to a spot, and then you kind of read the ball, and it's coming back and hooking back to you. So
take a look on the IOTV HD Super Shot.
those plays look so easy in that super shot, huh? They look so easy and slow, like you got all the time in the world to make an adjustment.
Teixeira pops one up. Shallow center, coming on Hunter. And how about Matt Palmer? He has retired 8 in a row. Helped by this play, Gary Matthews Jr. Look one way, reach another. End of the inning, we go to the fourth. Smokers Quitline quiz. On May 2nd, 2001, Paul O'Neill recorded the 2,000 hit of his career. Off which former Yankee pitcher who also wore number 21 did he hit it? Now, do you know that one?
I got this.
See,
one.
they actually gave you a question that you wouldn't know.
You know what? The only problem is if they didn't give me that hint, I wouldn't have got it.
Oh, really? You don't remember it?
I do remember it. I was in Minnesota. I do remember that.
Okay. Torrey Hunter fouls it back. Now, remember a couple of years ago you told us that, you know, when you won the batting title in '94, you get that beautiful silver bat.
Yeah.
You said it was somewhere under the couch in the house?
Somewhere downstairs in the video room, yeah.
And I told Bernie Williams that the other day, and he was shocked. He said, well, I have a trophy case for mine.
Well, of course Bernie does. Yeah, that's right.
Torrey Hunter swings and misses. You know, of all the great things that Bernie did, it's interesting. You know, he said, obviously, there's a team sport. You care about the championships the most. He said, but the biggest moment of his career was winning the batting title on the last day in '98.
You're right.
He said when he came out, the crowd kept chanting. He came out in his shower shoes. And
I remember that. I was on the other side. I was behind the plate catching for Tampa at the time. He came out in his shower shoes and T-shirt, gave a little wave. And
taunted you from the
little
other side.
bit. That's what it felt like from the other side.
And the 1-2. 2-2.
I was actually thinking about some of those teams from the mid-'90s to late '90s playing against you guys, Paul. And, you know, a game like last night where the Yankees come back, they have a big rally, they get a nice win. The teams from the mid-'90s would come out the next day, in the first 2 innings, they would set the tone. Game was over.
Right.
Swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch, and Hunter.
Good breaking ball. You know, the funny thing is a lot of those things happen at the old Yankee Stadium. You'll see, again, CC Sabathia has everything working. There's a great breaking ball on Hunter's hands. But do you have that home field advantage here yet? Do other teams come in and say, oh, no, we're going to New York again? And, you know, if you start having wins like that and you start getting used to winning at home, I mean, it's very important when you play 81 games in one stadium to have that home field advantage. And a new ballpark, you know, you got to get that quick. You got to let other people know.
Now, Napoli gets hit there, and you wonder, is that payback for Swisher and for Jeter?
Well, CC's been so good control-wise, you almost think that he's going to send a little message here. But, you know, if it was, that's picture-perfect textbook. You don't hurt somebody. You let it make it be known that, you know what's going on the other side.
And in the National League, you can do that to a pitcher. In the American League, you do it to the catcher. And that's what Napoli is.
And as you can see, he takes it, just flips his bat. That's good old-fashioned baseball if that's what it was. No intent to hurt anybody. You send a little message and you move on. Well, you talk about home field advantage, 6-2 for the Yankees here at the new park, and more exciting wins of the year last night, late in the ball game. So should be some good feelings in that Yankee clubhouse.
Swing and a miss. Boy, that is old-time baseball, though, because nobody took a step toward the mound. I think everybody understood exactly what it was. And what you said is probably the most important thing, Paul. It was done in the right way. Flew somebody's backside.
Players don't like to get hit, but anything above the shoulders, then all of a sudden it becomes bad. You get hit where in the backside like that, it's not an issue. Let the players take care of it out on the field, and you move on.
You think that the Yankee players now, if that is in fact something that was done on purpose, look at CC and go, yeah, that's what we like.
You know what? I think both Paul and I raised an eyebrow. You notice it, you acknowledge it, and you know, not that you're going to go over to CC and pat him on the back or anything, but you put it in the memory bank and say something you take notice.
Well, Nick Swisher missed a game today, and whether it was intentional or not, he missed a game. You lost a player. And then when you see your captain, I mean, you've got a face that kind of represents your organization. You see him get hit early in the game. Whether they're intentional or not, it's showing they're very comfortable at coming up and in on your players. And if you have to do the same thing, then it kind of evens things out.
Runner goes. Foul back. I remember Tony La Russa when he was with the A's. If you would explain to him, well, you know, it wasn't on purpose, he'd go, well, I don't care if it was on purpose. He says the pitcher has to be more careful. And he's always had that mindset, never come out and said it publicly, but players that have played for him said it. You hit one of his, he's hitting two of yours, and that's how he keeps score. So it's not a matter of whether it's on purpose or not. That's a message to the pitchers. Hey, don't feel so free to come up and in.
Yeah, I get a feeling here that nobody had to say anything to CC Sabathia. I mean, he's a #1 type guy. He knows what's been going on the last couple of days.
Grounded left side. Diving stuff by Pena. There's one. Beautiful play by the third baseman.
I'll tell you, slowly but surely, Pena has opened a lot of eyes on what he's doing at the plate. He's always had the glove. So, again, this ball could easily go off his glove or into the hole and have a big inning going here, but makes a tremendous play. Gets that out to Cano.
It's like the more you watch him play, you know, the little things that he does. This isn't a little thing. It's a nice play, full extension. But laying down a bunt, CC Sabathia likes it. I tell you what, he looks like one of those guys that his teammates are really pulling for because of the way he goes about his business.
People might not even realize this. Pena, a shortstop by trade, is an outstanding defensive shortstop. Baseball America has voted him one of the best defensive shortstops in the minor leagues. And he's playing a position that he is not used to playing, but he's playing it very, very well, very comfortably.
He talked about Phil Hughes not wanting to go back to the minor leagues. It looks like Pena's saying, you know what, I kind of like it up here as well. And I'm going to make your decision tough.
You look at him, and I mean, he looks like he's about 16 years old. He's a young kid. He always has that look on his face after he's done something, a big hit, like, wow, you know, well, look what I've just done. And it's good to see that from a young kid that's kind of overwhelmed to be getting a shot in the major leagues. And you love to see that kind of excitement.
Ground ball back to Sabathia. Nice play. And he flips it to Teixeira for the final out. So the Yankees splashing some leather here in the fourth inning. First Ramiro Pena. And now this play right back to Sabathia. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. It's 1-0 Yankees. Time for the answer to the New York State Smokers Quitline Quiz. Who did Paul O'Neill get that 2,000th hit of his career off of 8 years ago today? You mentioned it was against Minnesota.
Yeah.
And it's LaTroy Hawkins.
That's the first one I've ever got. I liked it. I knew that. Just because of the...
Kind of lived it, you know?
It was just because of the hit.
Line drive caught there by Kendry Morales, one away. And let's take a look at Paul O'Neill's 2,000th hit. You got the ball, Paul?
Yeah, I do. Gino writes those things up, makes them look real good. Gino's like a pro at that.
Is it next to the bat?
I don't know. I don't think the bat made it.
No, I mean the batting title bat.
Yeah, under the couch.
Okay.
There's a lot of room under there.
Now, the clue we had was he also wore 21. LaTroy Hawkins wore 21 for about 6 minutes until the entire city of New York was up in arms that Paul O'Neill's number was given away. And then LaTroy smartly switched. You didn't have a talking to, did you? Hey, LaTroy, lose the number?
No. I didn't have any conversations with. I don't talk to the pitchers that much. I talk to the players.
So the pitchers aren't players, Paul?
Yeah, I was going to say,
wow,
they're
they're
going to get
jump
yourself
you.
in trouble.
I guess it's
Andy Pettit's probably watching in the clubhouse right now.
Pettit's the best, though. I do like talking to him. Just because you do. Every once in a while, we throw out one of those Texas-isms at you, you know? He's fixing to do something, or I'm like, what do you mean you're fixing to do? What's that supposed to mean? He was talking to me today about how frustrated he was yesterday, but just how much he had to labor through every inning. I mean, he was throwing up zeros, but it was trouble every inning, and it just, you know, you love to see a guy do that because he cares about what he does. I mean, he genuinely takes the mound and expects to win, wants to win.
There's a ground ball short. It's Touris. Now, in that inning, in the 6th inning, if you remember, everything broke loose after the ball got past Pena. It skidded the wrong way, and it was scored a base hit when it really should have been an error. Everybody thinks that if you're a big league player, you make that play. And I was talking to Andy about it. I said, you know, if that scored an error, it's 4 less earned runs on your docket. And he goes, yeah, I know. He goes, what can you say? I said, well, would you ever complain about it? And he looks at me and goes, oh, man, I'd be really embarrassed to do something like that. I could never, ever do something like that. But that's the way Andy is. A lot of players make a phone call up to the press box.
You know, and it's funny. It's because it kind of rings a bell because it's where he is in his career. I mean, what's important to him now is winning games, getting back to the playoffs, hopefully winning another World Series. It's not about trying to lead the league in the ERA for your next contract or wins and losses. It's just going out, being part of a traditional winning organization and trying to get back to the World Series.
He said he was absolutely gassed. He said it was so hot at the stadium yesterday. He said, I didn't realize it. He said, it was hot enough. I was warming up in the bullpen. I said, this is good. I'm going to be loose. He said, I got on the mound, and then I was trying to fix mechanics in the middle of the game. He said, I didn't know where the ball was going. I was exhausted by the 6th inning.
Don't feel so bad. It was hot up in the booth, too. He didn't appreciate it, though. A little different.
He was fixing to try to win a game.
Yeah, he was fixing it.
Well, the count is full at 3-2 on Melky. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 1-0 in favor of the Yankees. Three-two. Still 3-2.
Another one of the unsung heroes lately. I mean, there's so many guys doing good things offensively. And Melky Cabrera, I mean, had a couple really good at-bats last night. He's battling day in and day out, trying to make a mark to be that everyday center fielder.
3-2. Grounded to second. They'll have to make the play to the pitcher. Covering is Palmer. They make it. You score that a 4-1. And how about this 11 in a row for Matt Palmer? The Yankees have yet to figure out this 30-year-old rookie as we go to the 5th. It's 1-0 Bombers. inning, 1-0 Yankees lead the Angels. Brandon Wood leads off against CC Sabathia on the Lexus scoreboard, 1-1-0, leading 0-2-0. And there's a strike. John, looks like a different Sabathia. This looks like the best Sabathia so far.
Yeah, I agree. He had a really good start in Kansas City, but he didn't have all 3 pitches working the way he has them working at this point. I mean, he had a changeup late in that ball game, but he's had it from the first inning. Nasty slider off the plate, down and in there. Good fastball, good location, and you know, you get the feeling from Sabathia, AJ Burnett, that they're going to get on a little run here. You know, you've got 5-6 starts under your belt. Now it's time to get going and put together about 5 or 6 quality ball games.
Hit sharply and off the glove of Pena. Grabbed by Jeter, but there's no play. So Wood gets a single.
Every once in a while, that ball's hit so hard, it kind of, as a fielder, you just kind of play it. And Wood hit this ball right on the nose, kind of a short hop. Comes up, not really a good chance for Pena to catch that ball, but you see how the ball jumps off Wood's bat. Now you understand that, you know, how he had 47 home runs.
Yeah, Pena, it's just one of those reaction plays at third base. You put your glove, you hope you come up with it. Not like shortstop where you had a little more time to gauge.
And the pitch to Estouris is a strike. Estouris lined out with the bases loaded. That was the Angels' chance in the second. Lined out sharply with the bases loaded to Robinson Cano. That ended the inning and the threat.
But you remember in that inning with 1 out, the base hit to right field, and Napoli didn't score from second. Mielke got in on the ball quick, held the run there, and CC fought back to keep that run from scoring.
We'll see if Mike Scioscia, we've talked about how aggressive his ball clubs are on the bases, second in the league in stolen bases to this point. Got a pretty good catcher behind the plate, an outstanding thrower in Jose Molina.
This could be 2-0. It's off the glove of Sabathia. There's one on the first, not in time. An athletic play by Cano to field the carom off the glove of Sabathia and keep his foot on the bag.
Right off the bat, it looks like it's going to be tailor-made right to Sabathia's glove side. It's off his glove, and it goes right to Robinson Cano. He readjusts. He steps on second base, a little hop throw, and it's just short. Nice footwork around the bag. Make sure you get that first out. And you know what? His throwing arm always amazes me. It's not that easy to do this little hop and get this much on the throw to make it a close play.
Wow, that was really close. And the base runner speedy too. Meister Estouris almost nailed him for a very odd double play. Here's Sean Figgins. You know, you always talk about lookalikes in sports. You take a look at Sean Figgins, Paul, and you tell me who he looks like.
Chad Johnson.
No.
Okay, I missed that one too.
Right out of it has to go. Everything has to be through Cincinnati. First of all, it's Chad Ochocinco.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I liked him when he was Johnson. That was it.
What do you think, John?
Dennis Rodman.
Oh,
wow.
Come on.
Well, I mean, you can't
That's
see the
even
white
worse than
hair
Chad
right
Ochocinco.
Oh, he looks just like Willie Randolph.
Oh, for gosh sake.
Oh, you're so right. It's almost identical. Looks like his young son.
Flash pulled his mic out. That's not even close.
The 0-1 popped up. Molina. 2 away. You know what we're going to do for tomorrow, Paul?
What?
We're going to twin up a shot of a young Willie Randolph and Sean Figgins, and you'll see.
And I'm telling you, you better hope that they can't find it.
Why?
Because you're going to look like a fool. It's not even close.
Oh, but Ocho Cinco's close.
Much closer than Willie.
Here's Gary Matthews. There's a strike. Looks like a young John Flaherty.
And some good seats, too.
You know who this guy looks like?
Who? His dad?
I was going to say his father. Played in the big leagues.
Sarge. Wow, that fastball's working today.
Sarge still coaching? Is he still in the big leagues coaching?
I think he's broadcaster now with the Phillies.
CC doesn't matter where he goes, upstairs, downstairs, anything, he's got everything. He's made it very hard on hitters today to look at one location or one pitch.
It's amazing how a pitcher's locked in can make a hitter look bad. As good as Matthews looked last night, having a tough time today against CC Sabathia. Let that fastball go a little bit, upper 90s there. Into the month of May, the warm weather, some starts under your belt, everything's starting to come together.
One, two. 2-2. Smacked into center field. Brett Gardner right there in dead center puts it away for the final out of the fifth. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left. At the end of 4.5, we're halfway through. It's 1-0 Yanks. J&R Music and Computer World. And by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. Beautiful Saturday afternoon in New York City. For some reason the lights are on, but don't need it today. There was rain in the forecast, maybe some moving in, but it's a sun-splashed afternoon in the Bronx. Jose Molina will lead off against Matt Palmer, who's retired 11 in a row. Fouled away.
And Matt Palmer's really done a nice job. I talked in our G pitcher scouting report and auditioned for him with all the injuries. His second start in the big leagues this year. He's had control problems in the past, but not today. Only one walk through 4 innings and a nice cut fastball has the Yankees off balance.
Popped up. Howie Kendrick is there. And there's one away. The Lexus scoreboard has the Yankees up 1-0 on just one hit, an RBI single by Matsui in the first. That's the only score. And the Angels have 3 hits. Now, Matt Palmer last year in AAA was 6-10 with a 4.18. But he has certainly been able to solve the Yankees so far today.
You wonder in Mike Scioscia's mind if when you start filing some of these, DL pitchers you got coming back, if some of these guys that are doing a decent job in the starting rotation will be bumped to the bullpen, or if they're bumped back to the minor leagues. If they're going to have a lot of decisions to make here, because you got 3 starting pitchers coming back right in the next month.
Pena fouls it away, count 1-1.
Yeah, you almost get the feeling with the Yankees. They scored 4 runs in the first inning yesterday and then kind of not go to sleep a little bit. Weaver had good stuff and held them down, and then they went to work on the bullpen. But here they score 1 run in the first again. Palmer shutting them down here into the 5th. You don't want to get caught in that rut where you watch your #1 guy Sabathia pitching a nice ball game and you relax offensively. You want to add on here, feeling like you could put this one away.
It puts a lot of pressure on the pitcher, whether you're #1 or #5. When you're pitching in a 1-0 game, you get him a couple more runs. All of a sudden, the pitches are a lot more free and easy. You don't have to worry as much about that one mistake.
The 1-2. Missed outside. What do you think of his swing, Paul? Do you think he has the ability to hit 275 in the big leagues, Ramiro Pena?
Well, I like his approach. I think that he sticks with what he does. He doesn't overswing. And last night he had a couple opportunities to to be the hero, to hit home runs, and he stayed with what he does. He had got a single, drove in a couple runs, and guys that know what they do at the plate and stick with that can be successful. I mean, I don't think you're ever going to look for him to be a 30 home run guy, but if he can be a switch hitter and a good defensive guy, could hit 280 and hit some doubles and use his speed, he could be a solid little player.
How would you pitch to him, John?
I try to tie him up and in a little bit, but the big thing for me when a young kid comes up to the big leagues and doesn't have a reputation as being a hitter, it's in 323 coming into this at bat. Confidence goes a long way.
That one's drilled deep to right field, giving Chase Matthews on the run on the track. He makes the play, taking an extra base hit away from Pena. A bid for his first major league home run.
He's had some good at bats. I talk about the confidence. It gets this ball up in the air to right field. Matthews makes a nice play going back.
You asked about his swing. You see, the only thing I see is his head comes forward a little bit, and that's why you don't really drive the ball, because your weight's going towards it. If he could get back on that back leg a little bit, you see it's kind of a switch hitter swing there where, he doesn't really drive off his back leg.
I guess that little drift is what I'd say. I try to pound him up and in because of that little drift, almost charging the ball.
Gardner grounds out to Kendrick. And you have to like what Matt Palmer's doing. 14 in a row. He played 5, 1-0 Yankees. For a fresh brewed cup of coffee at Yes, we get our Green Mountain K-Cup coffee system from the same people who bring us our office supplies. W.B. Mason, who but? Howie Kendrick leads off against CC Sabathia. 0-1. Foul back. .82 pitches for Sabathia, 53 strikes. And the 0-2. Grounded up the middle, a base hit off the bat of Kendrick. So the leadoff batter is on here in the 6th inning.
We talked a little bit about Kendrick last night. His approach is middle the other way. He's kind of turned a little bit towards second base. Still the ability to get on top of a pretty good fastball. Maybe it wasn't in quite as much as CC and Molina wanted it. You can see Molina reaching back. Still the ability to get on top. And it caught a little bit too much of the plate.
Count 1-0 on Torrey Hunter. Torrey Hunter has 26 hits, 14 of them extra base hits, and he has 8 home runs.
Has 3 home runs in his career against CC Sabathia. Torrey, through his career, he's been a free swinger. He goes up there, he's not afraid to swing early in the count. Almost try to pitch him like it's an 0-2 count all the way through, hoping that he's going to chase some pitches out of the zone.
Grounded to third, backhanded by Pena. Goes to second, one on to first. Not in time. Close play at second base, and Jeter just points to Pena as if to say, good job.
I'll tell you what, he's flashing the leather today. I mean, this is not an easy play. And on television, it looks like, you know, he just makes a nice, easy, routine play. But that ball was hit hard, down the line, pivot. Gives Cano a perfect strike at second.
I mean, Torrey Hunter runs well. It's not supposed to be that close. I mean, I think initially I'm thinking just get one. Look at how quick Robinson Cano gets rid of it. Talked about the strong throwing arm. A guy like Hunter running, he probably shouldn't have been that close. Nice play. Take a look at Torrey out of the box. Hits this ball well. He's probably thinking they don't have any chance. He's got a lean at the end. That play a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. If you're Mike Napoli after the last at bat, you got hit by a pitch in your backside, you walked. Nice at bat to do have a little revenge here. He's swung the bat well this whole series.
The first inning, if you look at Kendrick's at bat and Torrey Hunter's at bat, they were both hit hard and they were both pretty good swings. You haven't seen those kind of swings all through the game till this inning. Now he's falling behind here.
And a strike.
The swings we've seen Napoli have been out over the plate. It looks like that's his best swing, a ball out over. CC just located a nice fastball on the inner half. Probably like to tie him up. Middle in and up. So they're going to go away.
Grounded to short. And a bad throw, pulling Teixeira off the bag. So that's going to be Jeter's first error of the season as Napoli reaches on the E6.
It looked like Derek was caught in between a little bit, whether he wanted to go to second. And then he doesn't really take a step and throw over there.
You're right. The footwork looked like he was going to just shovel that ball to Cano, and all of a sudden he decided he's going to go to first. All kind of sails on him.
We've talked about Napoli being a catcher who runs well, 7 stolen bases last year, but it looked like he was caught in between what he wanted to do, second or first.
Teixeira is very lucky he didn't get injured because he was kind of off balance and came down just as Napoli was arriving. See this, his leg will come down, but he is okay. Here's Kendry Morales. Boy, Hunter really has a lead at second.
If you're CC Sabathia with Hunter at second base, probably trying to size you up, just change up the timing of your delivery to home plate. You know, you can go a slide step to home and then hold for a little bit the next pitch. So Torrey Hunter at second base, who's trying to size his delivery up right now. Just change your rhythm, change your timing.
The running game has definitely been in the minds of the Yankee pitchers this series, and it just shows you defensively, pitching, everything, how disruptive speed can be, and just the thought of guys wanting to take an extra base.
And they have Hunter picked off. CC runs right at him, tagged out by Pena.
Yeah, a little controversy here, Mike.
Well, they are going to meet up with the home plate umpire and Doug Eddings. And we'll see what the controversy is. They're going to bring the runners back, I guess.
A timeout or something.
Morales fouled the ball off. Does he get back out on the mound? And
I guess they're saying there was time. I mean, the ball boy was handing baseballs to the umpire.
When the ball boy comes out, does the umpire might have time?
So the Angels get a second life.
Must have been a pretty good explanation because Girardi didn't argue too much.
Game slows down considerably as CC taking a lot of time with runners on base. Now Molina wants to talk with him. Here's the ball boy coming out, giving the baseballs to DeMuth. Now CC had the ball. You see the umpire there waving that it was.
Immediately he said time, but I was looking when the ball boy was running the balls out. He never called time.
Well, it's a foul ball. He's going to get some new balls, home plate umpire Dana DeMuth, but does CC Sabathia get on the mound and reestablish he's ready to go?
Runners go. Throw to second. Not in time. Double steal. Well, that is what the Angels do. So now the tying run is at third. Go ahead run at second.
Torrey Hunter gets a great jump. Napoli at first follows his lead. Jose Molina goes to second base, does not have a play on either.
We talked about it last night. Napoli's job, his only job there is to read Torrey Hunter, because Torrey Hunter, for the most part, is on his own as a base stealer. So you get a good lead and you just read that guy ahead of you.
CC Sabathia behind in the count 2-1 with first base open. You don't have to give in to Morales here.
Flash, when you're catching there, you see Torrey Hunter. Do you know he got that good a jump, or you before the play said, I'm going to second?
You know, you have the luxury behind the plate. You can see Torrey Hunter's jump, so you have the ability to throw to second base if you want to. You know the Robinson Cano is going to be there, so you just read which one had a better jump and you take your shot.
That's going to tie the game. A ground ball to Jeter. He throws to first. They get Morales. Hunter scores. Napoli moves to third. It's a 1-1 contest. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. There's Juan Rivera. So the error by Jeter looms very large because that ground ball would have been the end of the inning. So the run is unearned, but Sabathia really doesn't care about that. Just that the lead is gone.
Rivera has one of the 4 hits for the Angels, a base hit to right field, his first at bat.
Sabathia is about to throw his 98th pitch. Molina goes down. That you don't miss, right, John?
Not at all. Juan Rivera at the green light, 3-0. See where this catches Jose Molina. Right off the chest. Sometimes you're a little shocked that a guy is even swinging 3-0, so you're not really locked in behind the plate with your balance. Kind of catches him back on his heels.
You wear sunglasses when you caught?
A few times, but it was tough, you know, on a hot day and you get going, perspiration, it's tough to keep those things clean.
Always thought your depth perception was just a little off when you wore those glasses. I couldn't do it. I was really amazed when people hit with them.
That one's drilled to center field. Gardner back. He has room. And right on the lip of the warning track for the final out of the inning. But the Angels tie the score, 1 run, 1 hit, 1 big error, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. A lot of ones, 1-1. Toyota text poll. The question once again, which player lost to either free agency or injury do the Angels miss the most? You've been texting to 58772. A tough one here. 53% said K-Rod, 22% Vlad, 15% Mark Teixeira, and 10% John Lackey. And as Paul said, that's a difficult choice. All four very important. Top of the Yankee order against Matt Palmer, who has retired 14 in a row. Yankees have just one hit, and that was a one-out RBI single by Matsui in the first inning. Angels get an unearned run because of Jeter's throwing error in the 6th, and we're tied at 1.
Let's see if there was a little wake-up call. I mean, your number one guy, Sabathia, looked like he was locked in, going to cruise in this ball game. And the error by Derek Jeter. Now we have a tie ball game. See if they wake up offensively. You got to give Palmer credit. Nice little cutter. Doesn't do a whole lot to impress you with the strikeouts, but throwing a lot of strikes with some movement.
I was going to say he's got movement. He's got movement with his two-seamer back into righties and his cutter into lefties. So, you know, he can get that ball born into both hitters. And that can help. Obviously, if he didn't have that cutter, left-handers would be a real big problem. And right now he's getting enough movement with his two-seam fastball to keep honest for right-handers.
Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. Now, you're a firm believer, Paul, that the home plate umpire can't call a check swing.
I don't think so. And I asked Flash last night, as a catcher, do you ever see where the bat head goes? And he's like, no. My thing was always, you should be watching strike or ball. And they're complaining right here that Derek went. And, you know, if he hits that ball on the barrel, that's a base hit to right field. So I can see their point. But, you know, if I was hitting, I wouldn't want to call.
Well, you wonder if the first base umpire, Todd Tickener, I mean, he rang Derek Jeter out and looked like a foul ball. Do you want to do it 2 times?
Derek Jeter. But again, I asked Flash last night, and he said he never saw the bat head go through the zone. So to me, I don't think the home plate umpire can either. I mean, it's just an easy way to check at the first base or third base umpire. That's their job, to see the ball.
Yeah, that's what they're there for. That's right.
So there's no way they could see both.
I don't think so. How can they tell where if that bat head gets across the plate from where they are? I was never one to argue with umpires, though, Michael, but, you know, it was just easier to tell that guy behind the plate to check with the first baseman and the first baseman.
I just had a flashback. You know how many times I had to tell the umpire, don't let him do that to you. Don't let O'Neill get in your head. You're better than that.
Set people up, you know. You might need a good call at the end of the game or something.
Driven out to center field and deep. Torrey Hunter back, still back, and it's one hop into Monument Park. A double for Derek Jeter. So that breaks the string of 14 in a row by Matt Palmer.
Mike Scioscia was hot with the first base umpire. That's not going to make him any happier, seeing Derek Jeter drive this ball to center field. We'll take a look at it. It's in. It's up a little bit. Good extension. Torrey Hunter playing shallow, and Derek Jeter makes him pay.
My question right there, you know, in a 1-1 game, late in the game, you know, it's almost your responsibility as an outfielder to have nothing go over your head unless it goes out of the ballpark. And Torrey Hunter, I mean, obviously he's an unbelievable outfielder. But to give up a double there that hit on the warning track, that's kind of tough if you're a pitcher.
8 straight Gold Gloves for Torrey Hunter. Here's Johnny Damon. Count 1-0 on him. He wants to pull the ball, get Jeter over the third. Palmer working him away. The count 2-0. Now Johnny has power to left center field, and you see where Hunter's playing him now. He's in shallow right center, and the left fielder's playing where a left fielder normally plays. So there's a lot of space there in left center. There's a strike. Yankees 19 for their last 40 with runners in scoring position. Just a tick under 500 at 475. 78 pitches for Palmer, 45 strikes. And he does pull the ball. Nice piece of hitting there by Damon. Morales will touch up, and Jeter moves to third.
Get a lot of high fives in that Yankee dugout. Kevin Long, hitting instructor, all the way down the dugout. Nice job of situational hitting for Johnny Damon. Now Mark Teixeira. Situation, haven't been swinging the bat that well, but all you need is a sacrifice fly. The infield is going to be playing in. Nice position for Mark Teixeira to hit it.
Yeah, this is a big at bat for him, and if you're, you don't want to get in a position, you don't feel good, but you know this is a big RBI position. I don't want to get late in the count here where I give myself an opportunity to strike out. Look for something early in the count.
Like
get it out of the infield. Don't pull it foul. Put it in the outfield. And that's, as a left-handed hitter, I always thought it was easier to go up there looking towards center left field if I was just trying to get a guy in, because you get a pitch like that, the only thing you can do with it to hit it hard is to pull it foul.
Infield is in. Upstairs.
I was just thinking, Mike Scioscia, having Teixeira on his team last year and Scioscia being an ex-catcher, you figure he'd know exactly where to pitch Teixeira. It looks like they're trying to pound him up and in and then go away.
Teixeira this year has had 2 opportunities to bring a runner home from third base with less than 2 outs, and he's come through each time. Switch hitter batting from the left side against the righty Palmer.
This would be his last opportunity in this at bat. If he didn't get a strike here, their chances are going to walk him.
Popped up, shallow center, backing up Kendrick. And Hunter makes the catch as Jeter cannot tag. And some more boos for Mark Teixeira as the crowd's starting to get restless with his lack of production.
3 out of the 4 pitches were up and in. It's got to be by design. Mike Scioscia seeing Teixeira last year, and that's where they decided to go. A little bit of frustration. Torrey Hunter made the right play coming in from center field, able to get off a strong throw to keep Derek Jeter at third.
Now, I noticed in that pitch, Napoli was standing up. Now, can a batter feel the catcher standing up and know that the pitch is going to be upstairs?
Believe it or not, as a hitter, I don't remember looking, where the catcher's like. You don't peek back. You were taught not to peek back, because if the catcher catches you, you might get one at your head the next pitch. So you're so intent on focusing in on the pitcher, on that release point, that you don't really know what's going on behind you.
So you don't even feel that he's standing.
The only thing you do is, I remember Pudge Rodriguez used to hit his glove all the time inside, and it was almost like, all right, you're doing it inside, Pudge. That means you're going away. It just became a game. It's like, Pudge, who you kidding here?
Here's Matsui. He's driven in the Yankees' only run. That was in the first inning. So now he's got a runner at third. The infield backs back up. 2 outs. Matsui has a 12-game hitting streak. And the pitch upstairs. Vastly different game than last night. Yankees had a 4-0 lead. They trailed 9-4. They came back and won 10-9. This one, not much offense. Must be hard to pick up his pitches, because at 89, people are late on fastballs upstairs.
It's funny. He is intentionally pitching upstairs in this inning, where he's been down and in with the the sinker and the cutter pretty much all day. Got that big out with Teixeira up out of the strike zone. Trying to do the same thing with Matsui. Now going to go back down.
Matsui has 11 RBIs this season. 5 of them have come with 2 outs.
That's a good combination. I mean, change eye levels. You throw one up at Hideki Matsui's eyes. He swings through it. Then you go down with a curveball. Now you have some options.
And the count now 3-1 with the red-hot Cano on deck.
I tell you what, John, he hit his target. He just Matsui's kind of zoning in on the strike zone now and not leaving it.
And when you throw a pitch up like that, you're not really looking to get a strike called. You want to swing at it. And that little cut at the end has got to be making the difference why the hitters are late.
And also, if you stand up, even if the guy hits the target, the umpire's not going to give you the call because you're standing up.
I'll tell you what, that's a nice pitch there. A 3-1 curveball. You just drop it in for a strike. Hideki Matsui thinking he's probably not going to get something to hit. He drops in a 3-1 curveball for a strike.
And he struck him out. Big comeback by Matt Palmer. He survives the leadoff double by Derek Jeter. and ends up stranding him at third. No runs are hit, no errors. One man left on base. We'll cut to that one as we go to the seventh. It's a 1-1 game.
Pitch, a fastball up, another fastball up. Then he decides to change his eye level, go with a curveball down, another fastball up, a curveball for a strike, and the best pitch of the at-bat, a cutter backdoor. Hideki Matsui had not seen that pitch the whole at-bat. A big strikeout.
You know what was tough there is he wasn't afraid to intentionally throw a ball to set up a pitch late, and he got away with the swing out of the zone early in the count. You know, once in a while as a hitter, you'll watch a replay of an at-bat and just realize that the pitcher did a good job, and that's one of them right there.
Count 1-1 on Brandon Wood. Punch out toward right field. Nice piece of hitting there by Brandon Wood. He picks up a single to open up the inning.
Brandon Wood pulled a base hit his last time. It's a good pitch, down and away. Just stays on it, slaps it the other way. We talked about his power in the minor leagues. So shows the ability to use the whole field.
101 pitches for Sabathia. Third straight inning, the Angels have had the leadoff runner on.
Yankees have to be looking for the bunt from Asturias. Pena in on the grass at third.
And a foul bunt. Third base coach Dino Ebal trying to get an angle so he could see the sign from Socia.
See what Asturias does this at bat. Last night he came in to bunt. Fouled the first one off just like he did there. Took strike two and then had an outstanding at bat and finished it off with a base hit. Base hit or a walk? Base hit.
A base hit to right field. That's one of the best at bats we saw all night. Fouled off 8 or 9 pitches. Hit and run there.
Popped up, shallow left, coming on his Damon. He's at the plate on a hop. Brandon Wood would have been doubled up because he was at second base if Damon makes that catch.
We got to realize as an outfielder, when you see the runner in motion, you got a chance to get a double play here if you can make this play. Ball gets on in on the Sturris, and he doesn't drive it out. Obviously, Johnny Damon must have froze, didn't get a good jump coming in.
He's definitely doubled up if that catch is made. But the catch was not made. It dunked in, so a single for Sturris. Now remember, if this game gets down to a battle of the bullpens, neither bullpen really distinguished itself last night. The Angels bullpen's the worst in baseball right now, and the Yankee bullpen's starting to get busy.
You got to, you know, as CC Sabathia, you're in a frustrating position because you've thrown the ball well all game. Offense really didn't help you out. Now you're in a position to either get a loss or get a no decision, and you got to fight to get through this inning and give your team a chance to go ahead.
Sean Figgins with a foul bunt.
When you take the mound and have the kind of stuff that CC had early in the game, you just hope that your offense can throw up 3-4 runs, and it'll be an easy afternoon. But it's you know, it's credit to Palmer. He's thrown the ball well. He's fought out of some jams, and he's kept the Anaheim Angels in this game where they have an opportunity to go ahead here.
So Albaladeo throwing for the Yankees. He actually got the win in last night's game. He pitched the 1-2-3 ninth inning.
Yeah, when you find yourself in a ball game like this, you start questioning, well, is it the Yankee offense kind of going through the motions, or is it Palmer? And Palmer's been better than advertised, obviously. Good cutter, locating it, getting ahead, throwing a lot of strikes.
It's like a perfect bunt for Figgins. The sacrifice has scored 2-4 as Cano took the throw. And Figgins had only 2 sack bunts last year, but he lays down a beauty here right now, and the Angels' second and third one out.
It is a beauty. You get it right out in front of home plate. It reaches the grass. It's an easy play for Jose Molina, and Figgins runs well. But that ball wasn't too far out into the grass, so a nice play by Molina and a nice bunt by Figgins.
Here's Gary Matthews Jr. The Yankees will actually give up the lead on a ground ball to short or to second. They're in at the corners. Or should I say they give the lead to the Angels with that ground ball.
Tell you what, you know, Anaheim's not playing up to par. They've had injuries. They're off to a start that they're not accustomed to. But, you know, to watch them and watch them play every day as a baseball fan, you really have to enjoy what they do. They bunt, they steal, they do what they used to do in this game 20, 30 years ago to win baseball games.
Some people compare it to almost watching like a basketball team that presses constantly 94 feet. They're going to make you make mistakes because they constantly press the action.
We saw a suicide squeeze bunt last night to add on another run. I don't know if they're going to do it with Matthews here, kind of a free swinger.
The 0-1. 1-1.
CC Sabathia, you're looking for a strikeout right here. I mean, this is you got Albaladeo warming up in the bullpen. You're pretty much thinking this is the end of my ball game. Whatever I have left in the tank, I have to let it go here, try to pick up a big strikeout.
You see Matthews, the way he took that ball, he's just anxious. I mean, that ball was a foot over his head. He almost offered at it. So I don't know, as a pitcher or a catcher, you see that, but you know that if you get ahead of him in a strikeout situation like you are right now, that you've got a good chance of striking him out, because he's just, you know, you get anxious as a hitter to try to do too much. CC drops that slider in there.
Yeah, if you're CC now, you got a couple of shots not to throw anything around the plate. Try to make Matthews chase either down and in or up out of the strike zone. And now the infield coming in. Tony Pena saying maybe to play halfway.
Swing and a miss. One upstairs, 98 miles an hour. As CC reached for something extra and got it.
You could tell early in this at bat that Gary Matthews is just out of his comfort zone and just trying to make this thing happen. And you're getting a strikeout count. Sabathia and Molina on the same page. Get that strikeout without even throwing a strike.
Boy, we've been asking, well, where's that velocity? Well, there it is. Obviously, he's got it. He saves it for moments like that. So with the 111th pitch of the day, he throws 98 miles an hour. Here's Howie Kendrick. Line drive foul. He is so dangerous to the Yankees. But you've got Torrey Hunter on deck, so you certainly can't pitch around Kendrick. He's 1 for 3 today. Robbed of an extra base hit on a diving play by Cabrera in the third. He has 41 hits in 90 at-bats against the Yankees lifetime.
This reminds me a lot of that at-bat that you had last night with Andy Pettitte, where he got 2 outs and he's got this 2 men on, and instead of getting out of the inning, which Sabathia has an opportunity to do right here, he gave up that 2-out single up the middle.
It's a tough situation right here with 2 outs. I mean, Kendrick, what is he, 6 for 9 now, I think, off of CC Sabathia. You have Torrey Hunter on deck, who obviously has the big reputation, but CC has done a nice job with Hunter. But you definitely do not get in a situation where you give in to Kendrick here.
One. Grounded up the middle. Does it squeak through? Grabbed there by Cano. Off balance throw. Can't make the play. Run scores. Angels lead 2-1.
You see total frustration on Sabathia's face, and I've said it over and over again. The best way to drive people in from third and second is get the ball past the pitcher up the middle. Keeps you in there on everything. You don't give away the outside part of the plate. Sabathia knew right when it got by him he had a chance to get out of the inning, but once it got by him, Kendrick was going to be safe.
7 for 10 now off of CC Sabathia. Amazing.
Here's Torrey Hunter. He is 0 for 3, but scored a run, reached on a fielder's choice in the 6th. Baseball's such a sport that's ripe for second guessing. Because Kendrick got the hit, and because Torrey Hunter doesn't hit Sabathia well, and he's handled him today, you go, well, why didn't you pitch around Kendrick? But CC Sabathia thinks he could get Howie Kendrick out.
You know what? Kendrick didn't smoke that ball. I mean, it was a ground ball up the middle. Like Paul said, you get it past the pitcher, you have a chance. So, I mean, it's tough to second guess that. He made a pretty decent pitch, and Kendrick hit it in the right spot.
Fouled away. Now with CC, you have to guard against a letdown in this batter because you've given the lead to the Angels, and you don't want to give them more, especially the way Palmer's pitching.
Interesting to see what Palmer does with a lead. I mean, sometimes even if you're down 1 run, you go out there and you stay in your rotation. All of a sudden you get a lead. It's like you try to change things and hold that lead and see how he goes about pitching to the Yankees next inning.
Just got a piece to stay alive on the high fastball. That was 99 miles an hour.
This sounds fast.
And it was. Torrey Hunter's reacting like, yeah, it was 99. You look at that expression on his face. Digging in, saying, I'm in trouble here if he throws that same pitch.
To an off-speed pitch.
We haven't said this much today, Flash, but he got away with one right there. That was a breaking ball that kind of hung out over the plate. And those are the pitches you can really get hurt with. It kind of stays in the strike zone for a long time.
$116 pitches for Sabathia. 77 of them strikes. The 0-2. 1-2. Two-1 Angels lead. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Remember, the Yankees trailed 9-4 going into the bottom of the 8th inning yesterday, but you don't want to make a habit of coming back. Runner goes from first. That one is drilled to left field. Johnny Damon back, still back, turning, looking, and it's off the base of the wall. 2 runs are going to score. Torrey Hunter is at second with a 2-run double, and it's 4-1 Angels.
Well, Michael, you talked about maybe a letdown after that infield base hit. It's a first pitch changeup fouled off. Good fastball. Another another good fastball to half swing, and then the one that he wanted to hit. Slider, fastball up and in. And then he gets another slider. It's down and in, and Torrey Hunter all over it. Keeps it fair, not too quick where he hooks it foul, hits off the wall, and gets away from Johnny Damon.
Well, CC Sabathia's day is over as Joe Girardi will go to the bullpen. Yankees in a 4-1 hole. You come on that. Bullpen brought to you by AT&T. Your world delivered. And the call to the bullpen brings in Jonathan Albaladeo with a runner at second and 2 outs. Yankees down 4-1. Albaladeo picked up the win yesterday. Those are his numbers: 13 hits in 12 innings, 4 walks and 5 strikeouts. So Hunter with a big double over the head of Johnny Damon. Line drive to left center field. It is a base hit on the bat of Napoli. Scoring easily is Hunter. Napoli picks up an RBI single. It's 5-1 LA.
Napoli not wasting any time against Albaladeo. See Matt Palmer in the dugout appreciating the runs. His first pitch looks like a fastball and just drives it into left center. Scoring Torrey Hunter.
Back-to-back nights at the bullpens come in. First pitch fastball, giving up big hits. Gary Matthews last night with a run clearing, or that base clearing triple.
Runner goes, throw to second. Beautiful throw by Molina. Gunned down as Napoli. So they take the bat out of the hands of Kendry Morales, but not before. The Angels break a 1-1 tie. They score 4 runs on 5 hits. No errors and nobody left. A good throw by Jose Molina at the end of 6.5. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Yankees trail this one 5-1, but we stay here at the stadium to honor America. Well, thank you, Nancy. As we go to the bottom of the 7th, you have to wonder, do the Yankees have another rally in their bones as they trail 5-1? Yesterday they did. They were down 9-4, came all the way back to win 10-9. Matt Palmer still on the mound. And Cano grounds one up the middle. Stopped beautifully by Kendrick. And he fires to first to take a base hit away from Robinson Cano. Beautiful play by Howie Kendrick.
Well, Howie Kendrick doing it all. Gets a big base hit with 2 outs against Sabathia, and then makes a nice play going to his right. The backhand up to his feet quickly, and the strong throw to get Robinson Cano. Well, we've talked a lot about him in this series, the numbers that he has against the Yankees. The Angels just hoping to keep him healthy all year.
You see Palmer out there, and if you think about it, you know, Palmer's probably, this is his biggest moment probably with the Angels, maybe in his big league career. I mean, you're winning a 4-run game or 4-1 game in Yankee Stadium. 5-1. Lost a run there, Mike.
But you're right. The thoughts start creeping in your head. You know what? I'll get a couple outs here. I'm through 7. You know, I could get a big league win in the new Yankee Stadium.
You know, when the Angels got here on Thursday, I had early BP. And Kim Jones told the story on the pregame show where he was taking pictures during early batting practice, and then he was asked afterward, are you going to be nervous? Are you going to be overwhelmed? And he's a 30-year-old rookie. He said, I left my nervousness in places like Hagerstown. And so far, he hasn't shown any nerves whatsoever. I was talking to Rex Hudler, one of the Angels broadcasters. He said, Matt Palmer is pitching for his life. He said, when these guys start coming up the DL, you know, his major league career could be over. But if he keeps pitching games like this, he'll make them reconsider as Melky Cabrera picks up a single up the middle, extend his hitting streak to 7 straight.
And it's not going to take long for that bullpen to get up. Mike Scioscia knows where this kid is, knows where this game is. And see Melky going right back up the middle, right through the wickets.
Yeah, but is it that easy if you're Mike Scioscia? I mean, you've seen your bullpen blow up time after time. There's Hud, the wonder dog. But you've seen your bullpen blow up, and you got a 30-year-old rookie out there who's dominated for 7 innings into the 7th inning. Might stay with him a little bit longer.
There's Jose Arredondo. You know, Rex Hudler was on the BP show with Kim Jones. And I think he actually frightened Kim with his energy. Kim had never experienced anybody with that sort of energy. There, he knows on TV again. He's really out of his mind, but in a good way. He tells this great story. He was the #1 draft pick for the Yankees, and he was in the minor leagues forever. And finally, he wanted to get out of the minor leagues, so you know what he did? He wrote a letter to George Steinbrenner. He said, you know, you wasted a first-round draft pick. I've had good years in minors. You gave me a chance. And George Steinbrenner wrote him back a letter, and then he actually got called up, but then he got traded. Molina takes a pitch inside, and he says that the letter from the Yankee owner, George Steinbrenner, is something that's framed in his office as one of his cherished possessions.
He was, I mean, you always knew when he was in the game. I mean, if he was playing shortstop in Anaheim, you know, you'd run down there if you're on first base and say, you know, Hud, I'm taking you into left field. And he'd look at you right in the eye and, I like it. I like it. So you think, man, this guy is nuts, man.
So he was like that when he played. This is not like a broadcaster.
It's not anything he acquired after his career, no.
I like it.
He dropped off a book yesterday to you, Splinters, he called it, handwritten, and in that book has a written letter from George Steinbrenner.
Yeah.
Took a picture of it when he was traded, and I thought, you know, what a neat thing that he kept. Steinbrenner saying he had an opportunity to go somebody else who was for him, and you know, that doesn't happen. I got the news that I was traded on the answering service, so to get a written letter from George Steinbrenner, I thought that was pretty cool.
And with the 100th pitch, a strikeout. The last line of the letter: I wish you all the good fortune in the world to your new career, and I hope you will always remember the Yankees. Best, warmest regards, George M. Steinbrenner III.
Pretty neat, man.
Yeah. And Molina works a walk, so Matt Palmer not handling Prosperity very well, and this has to be a scary walk for Mike Scioscia because he knows he's going out to a house of horrors right now. His bullpen has really been struggling all year, and it hasn't been their starters despite the injuries, hasn't been their offense despite the loss of Vladimir Guerrero. They are right now 9-13 because of that bullpen. So a good job by Matt Palmer, but runners on first and second, one man out, and Arredondo comes on to face Pena. Newman will give you all the highlights and analysis from this game against the Angels, and Kimberly Jones has post-game quotes from the clubhouse. It's the WB Mason post-game. It's only on Yes. So the Yankees making them move right now. A little early, it's 7th inning. They're down 5-1, but you see where the Angels bullpen ranks. Last in ERA, last in batting average against in the American League. And Joe Girardi's going to his bench right now. He is going to pinch hit for Ramiro Pena with that man, Jorge Posada. Arredondo deals. Strike. One thing that we saw from the Angel bullpen last night, and you see Arredondo's numbers, fastball, fastball, fastball.
Well, Arredondo came in just throwing fastball after fastball and gave up a couple of hits, and then he got nasty with Johnny Damon, started throwing some split fingers. But a curious move for me right here, bringing in Jorge Posada in the 7th inning with one out. You got to believe this 8th spot in the order is going to come up in the 9th inning, maybe with a chance to tie or go ahead. Joe Girardi trying to go to the well here in the 7th inning.
And also, Ramiro Pena has actually been a pretty pesky hitter in these situations, so a little bit of a gamble. Even if you get a home run, you're still down by 1. Strike. As a pinch hitter in his career, Posada .229 hitter. 231, I'm sorry. 24 for 104, 3 home runs. Swing and a miss.
It's a better mix than we saw last night. Arredondo is fastball, fastball, fastball. Jorge Posada saw both of them. Fastball first pitch. He takes for a strike, and then he sees the split finger next that's up. And he sees another fastball, and then he finishes him off with a split down.
And the split down is the one that he's going to get his strikeout. That ball just disappears, and you look on TV and think, how can you swing at that pitch? But you see the arm speed, you see the release point, and all of a sudden that ball just dives out of the hitting zone.
Here's Brett Gardner against Arredondo. And there's a strike.
And you say what you want, and you look at CC Sabathia's numbers for today, and it's not even close on what he was. He gave this team every chance to win this game. He was absolutely dominant for the first 5-6 innings, And all of a sudden you put him in a position where if one mistake can lose the game. And you know, the Anaheim Angels have good enough hitters to get a couple big hits, and then you look up at the board and it's 5-1. CC Sabathia had great stuff today. First 5 or 6 innings, you got to put the Anaheim Angels away offensively when your pitcher's that good.
And you could talk about his last start. He lost in Detroit and had an outstanding ball game through 8 innings, 99 pitches, and really threw the ball well. So back-to-back starts, he's had good stuff. Might come out empty-handed.
And Gardner works a walk. That brings up Jeter as the tying run against Arredondo. And Matt Palmer's getting a little sweaty. Look at the numbers with the bases loaded. Just the 1 grand slam, but 68 for 189. You've got Melky Cabrera at third. Jose Molina is at second. And Brett Gardner at first. Jeter's been money with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. I believe he's 6 for 9 this year. Strike.
Derek Jeter's not going to be happy with that call. Home plate umpire Dana DeMuth. I mean, you got a guy who just walked, Brett Gardner. He throws a questionable fastball down and away. Looks like it's down. Boy, big difference. 2-0 in the count or 1-1.
That one missed outside. Almost the same spot.
It was actually a little bit better, to tell you the truth. It's just, I don't know if you're an umpire and you know that you missed a call and you're going to borderline, you're going the other way with it. But, you know, right now, Jeets put himself in a good position ahead in the count where he kind of gets away from that spook finger fastball, can look dead fastball.
2-1. Right back off the glove of Arredondo. Scrambles after it, and they just get Jeter for the final out. So Jeter just nabbed that first to end the 7th inning, and the Yankees will leave the bases loaded, much to the delight of Matt Palmer. Jeter goes right up the middle. Arredondo knocks it down, scrambles after it, and gets the out at first. No runs a hit, no errors, and the bases left loaded. Palmer loves it. We go to the 8th. to vote along with the three of us here in the booth for the Chevrolet Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772, and today's candidates are number 1, Torrey Hunter, number 2, Matt Palmer, number 3, Mike Napoli, and number 4, Howie Kendrick. Vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. New pitcher for the Yankees is Jose Veras. There's a new catcher as Jorge Posada stays in the game behind the plate. 5-9-0, leading 1-3-1. And Angel Baroa moves in at third. So Baroa will bat in Molina's vacated spot. So he will hit 7th, and Posada remains in the number 8 hole. You see Veras' numbers.
So Joe Girardi keeps Jorge Posada, keeps his bat in the lineup. It tells me, too, that shoulder really is not an issue now to bring Jorge Posada, who's been sitting around all day, and then you bring him in to catch the 8th and the 9th inning. It tells me his shoulder is pretty much 100% ready to go.
Hopefully.
The 1-1. Driven deep out to right center field. That is a bomb. See ya. A home run into the Yankee bullpen. Kendry Morales crushed that one, and it's 6-1 Angels as Veras' struggles continue.
Michael, you said crush it. That had that sound right off the bat that you knew something was going to happen. I mean, it's just down and into a left-handed hitter. I don't know what it is about that flash, but it doesn't get to your glove very often, does it?
Well, we've talked a lot about Jose Veras, and you need to pound the strike zone, challenge hitters more. Well, he challenged Morales. But like you said, that spot down and in went a long way.
Fourth home run for Morales. Second RBI of the day, second hit. Veras has now given up a run in 7 of his last 9 outings. Pitched so well here against the A's in that extra inning game. 3+ innings. Actually was outstanding. But he has been highly inconsistent for the first part of the year. 1-1. And after that A's game, he really thought he had found something. Felt very confident, very happy about his performance, and thought he had turned the corner, but he's taking the slide back again. High fly ball, right center, Gardner. 1 out. Large crowd here at the stadium today. Beautiful Saturday afternoon. Pitch is upstairs to Brandon Wood.
I think you wanted to be a weatherman, Michael. I think that was your true aspiration, to be a weatherman.
Still out there for me.
Still there? Sam Champion, get ready. You can do it.
I don't want to take anybody's job.
Oh, all right.
Could just be like a third job.
That's what you need, is another one. What do you got going tonight? A couple shows? Something's got to happen.
Scott Shields warming for the Angels in their pen. And Matt Palmer, usually you go down in ice, but he's watching the rest of this one.
He have a ring on his finger?
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's not too often you see the wedding ring on the left hand. The pitcher while he's pitching, obviously that would be underneath his glove.
Now, I would be curious if that was under his glove, because I would think that would be illegal. Because if he steps off the mound and rubs up the baseball, you could actually cut up the ball with that ring. I would think you'd have to take that ring off under the glove. But he had that on right after he got out of the game. There's no way he ran and put it on. Brandon Wood walks. Dave Island will go out and talk with Veras.
I was wondering, when you look at jewelry and stuff, we would go in for batting practice, and Cal Ripken would be taking batting practice and ground balls with a watch on. I'm like, is that important that you know what time it is out here at shortstop? But he's Cal Ripken, so it was kind of a cool thing, you know?
Well, Joe Torre used to manage the Yankees with a watch on in the dugout.
Managing's a little different. Yeah. I mean, you're not out there doing anything as far as, you know, taking ground balls and hitting and things like that.
Pitch out.
Tough to pitch out with a guy who has control problems.
Yeah.
Looked like Dave Island, that conversation with Jose Veras was pretty one-sided. Want to be aggressive, attack the strike zone, but then there was a first pitch out.
You know, Joe Girardi was asked before the game today about the struggles of his bullpen and, you know, what would he do? And he said, well, you know, I mean, we've got some arms down in the minor leagues, but we have to make it work with these guys. This is what we have to figure out, this group.
You know, it'd be different if you hadn't seen any success from Jose Veras. We've seen this guy dominate at this level, so you know he has the ability. You know that he has the arm to do it. It's getting him back on track.
In 11 2/3 innings this year, Veras has allowed 19 base runners. Grounded to Teixeira. Goes to second for one. On to first. Not in time.
I tell you, you might not have noticed, but that was a tough throw for Teixeira because he couldn't get inside or outside of the runner. He had to absolutely kind of lob it over his head and just get it around him to Jeet, because you couldn't throw it hard because he'd hit the runner in the shoulder. But it allowed him too much time to turn the double play. So it just kind of had to lob it over him. The reason he couldn't get because he kind of got down on his knee to get that ground ball. You know, if he's coming forward, then he can really take that inside lane. But that was a tough throw.
Here's Figgins. Count 1-0. He had the ring on during the game. We got a shot of Wood with the ring on during the game. I'm surprised that was not pointed out by the umpires and have him take it off. Runner goes. Throw to second. It tails on a stolen base for Izturis.
Tell you can just see over and over what this running game of the Angels is doing. You know, it's taking pitchers out of their rhythm. Everybody in the back of their mind knows this team's going to be aggressive and run it. And when you put pressure on the defense, you know, you see this. You see throws that don't end up, you know, on the money, and it just keeps things going.
Count 2-1 on Figgins. 6-1, Angels lead the Yankees. We are in the top of the 8th inning at the stadium. The Angels creeping up on the Rays for number 1 in stolen bases. And Joe Madden, the manager of the Rays, is a disciple of Mike Scioscia. Worked with him for a while. Actually worked at the Anaheim Angels system even before Scioscia got there. 31 years in the system and 10 years with Scioscia as the bench coach. I actually think he was the bench coach before Scioscia, because this is Scioscia's 10th year now. 3-1. And Veras doesn't seem like he knows where the ball's going. It's hard to pitch that way when you don't know where the ball's going. As Figgins walks.
And Veras isn't a guy that you would say mechanically, you know, he's kind of all over the place. It's arms and legs, right. So it's There's a lot going on right there that has to be on time, and obviously he's out of whack a little bit right now.
He's thrown 17 pitches, 12 of them balls. Breaking ball outside. Matthews today is 0 for 4. That strikeout in the 7th, the big strikeout by Sabathia, blistering fastball upstairs. But then Howie Kendrick got an RBI single, and the Angels broke the 1-1 tie.
This almost just looks like a confidence issue where you see somebody just believing something good's not going to happen. I mean, you can't throw your fastball over. You go to your breaking ball, it's not going to work. You just got to hope that, you know, he gets mad enough at himself to prove that he can get people out again.
Line drive and a foul ball.
And I've always found that something in this game, Flash, that other team will never feel sorry for you. So if you're out there feeling for yourself, believe me, they're going to be digging in even more.
Oh, and they can sense it too. You walk up to the plate, you see a pitcher, the shoulders are shrugged a little bit, he's down on himself, you can sense it, and they just want to jump on you. Tomorrow afternoon on Yes, the Yankees finish off this 4-game set with the Angels. Coverage starts at noon with batting practice today in the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then Michael Kay, Paul O'Neill, and myself will have the call from the booth. Angels, Yankees. It all starts tomorrow at noon, only on Yes.
Checked his swing. Did he go? No, he did not.
We're doing this again tomorrow, Mike.
Yes, we are.
You like that?
What restaurant gets the O'Neills tonight?
I don't know. I think Mama's making plans as we speak. I guarantee you got big plans tonight. Saturday night, Manhattan's got to be, right?
Huge. You know, my first priority, Paul, is to be ready for the broadcast tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah. When do you start getting ready? Like tomorrow morning about 10:30? I'll make a bet with you that I'm in bed before you are tonight.
I think you might be wrong on this one. I think you might be wrong. The 3-2 struck to center field. Gardner shading his eyes from the sun, and he fights it into the glove for the final out of the 8th inning. But the Angels get one more run on one hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 6-1 Angels. Game, and we just saw it. Let's see it again.
Land Rover drive of the game just happened at the top of the 8th inning. Kendry Morales Be his 4th home run of the year against Jose Veras. Backs leg this one into the Yankee bullpen. 4th home run of the year. That is your Land Rover drive of the game.
420-foot line drive right there.
Scott Shields pitches the 8th inning, and he deals a strike to Johnny Damon. Pitch inside. See Shields' numbers, very unshield-like. 10 walks, hard to understand. That one's driven out to left field. Rivera is there, and there's one away. You know, it's hard to pick one moment in a baseball game because there's so much ebb and flow throughout a game. But in that 7th inning, when the Angels scored the 4 runs, the ball off the bat of Meiser Astores that somehow dropped in front of Johnny Damon, that's a turning point. Because if he makes that catch with Brandon Wood running, it's a double play. There's no big inning. All likelihood, CC Sabathia doesn't get taken out of the game. And here's that play, and you wonder what happened to Damon on this play. He pulled up. As Teixeira bashes one to right center. Going back is Hunter, and he might the play right in front of the wall for the 2nd out.
Teixeira's going through one of those times where he has good bats and make it out, and then he'll have a good bat in bad bats with runners in scoring position, and things just start compounding a little bit. You just hope that somebody can get in his head and make him realize who he is and what he can do, and get back into driving runs in.
When you're struggling, you hit a ball well like that. Do you feel good about the at-bat, or are you saying, hey, I got to get a hit?
When you're struggling and your numbers show you're struggling.
Boy, Scott Shields didn't even work up a sweat that inning as Matsui hits a fly ball to Matthews. All 3 outfielders got a shot. 6 pitches. Yankees go down in order 1, 2, 3, and we go to the 9th. 6-1 Angels. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance.
Torrey Hunter in the 7th inning where the Anaheim did their damage. 2-strike slider he drove in there to drive in 2 more runs. And ran CC Sabathia out of the game.
That is a Geico play of the game. So we head to the 9th inning, and the Yankees use their 4th pitcher. Sabathia was relieved by Alvaladeo. Then Veras struggled through a 1-run 8th, and now it's David Robertson. And he will face 3, 4, and 5 in the Angels order. See Robertson's numbers. Got a very good breaking ball. And he sets it up with a fastball, which is upstairs 1-0. Kendrick, another 2-hit day against the Yankees. 2 for 4, 42 for 91 lifetime against the Yankees. Foul back.
So with all the struggles with the Yankee bullpen that we've talked about, I mean, these are the situations for a guy like Robertson where it might not mean a whole lot. You're down by 5 in the 9th inning. But you go out there and have a nice clean inning. You open up some eyes. Good curveball, like you said, Michael. You open up some eyes. The next thing you know, you get an opportunity in a closer game. And you never know where you end up in that bullpen.
Swing and a miss, and they get Kendrick finally. 1 away. Hey, Monday night on Yes, the Yankees look to even the score when they kick off a home series against the Red Sox. Coverage is going to start at 9, or check that, at 6 with batting practice today and the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then David Cohn, Ken Singleton, and I have all the action. It's the Red Sox against the Yankees. The rivalry continues, and it all starts Monday night at 6 right here on Yes. Here's Torrey Hunter. And the pitch inside, 1-0. Now, Eric Ibar, who left the game on a first inning steal by Jeter, where the throw caromed off Jeter's helmet and into the lip of Ibar. He was examined by the Yankee dentist. And they had x-rays taken of the jaw, all negative, but he did have sutures put in his upper left lip by the Yankee doctor. And Paul's still amazed that there is a Yankee dentist.
Team dentist. You could probably get a quick checkup before the game tomorrow.
Yes, we could. The 2-1. Inside, 3-1. They like Robertson's stuff. Last 4 outings last year in the majors. 4 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 7 strikeouts, and walked 3. Popped up. Cano. Boy, is that up there. 2 away.
Flash, you a horse fan? Today's the big day, isn't it?
I'm not. My father-in-law's all over the race, though. He's a big horse fan.
You, Michael?
I like it.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Although the favorite was scratched today in the morning.
Now, when did you hear this?
Driving in, I have a radio.
Oh, no, sorry.
See, when you do a big radio show, you have to be up on everything, Paul. You know?
You know about the horses.
Here's Mike Napoli. That big radio show is every Monday through Friday, 2 to 7 on 1050 ESPN New York. Just throw that in.
Really?
Yeah.
I tell you, my wife and I went to the Oaks, which is the race right before the Derby. And the funny thing is the way they dress up for it. I mean, the horse race itself, I guess, you know, if you grew up being a horse fan, is an unbelievable event. But the dresses and the hats and the way people go about it, it's a big ordeal.
Did Mrs. Neville O'Neill go with a big hat?
No, but she enjoyed the. I mean, it's like playing dolls when you're a woman. You know, you go get to see everybody's dresses and hats. And
do you have a mint julep?
I tasted them. Horrible.
They're supposed to not be that great. And Napoli walks.
Wasn't a big fan of mint julep.
Now you went to the Kentucky Oaks, which is the day before the Derby.
Right.
You didn't go to the Derby?
No, we didn't.
Kind of like burying the lead there. What are you doing?
Well, the folks that we went with were locals, and the locals all go to the Oaks. That's kind of like their Derby. It's like the big thing because the local people actually go there, and then they bring in, you know, all the big stars like yourself for the real deal. They shipped me out early. You know? Got to see the Oaks and went back to Cincy.
Now, it's funny that has always been one of my dreams to go see the Kentucky Derby. I've never been able to go yet. I'll get there, I hope.
You will now.
Why?
You're in there. You just mentioned it.
Yankees always seem to be playing the Red Sox on the first weekend of May. There's a strike. The 1-1. Count 2-1. Kenji Morales 2 for 4 today. It's 6-1 Angels. We're in the top of the 9th inning here at the stadium.
know, Robertson has one of those fastballs. It doesn't light up a radar gun, but it looks like it just plays a little bit harder. That was 87. He's hit 90. It looks like it has a little life through the zone.
Yeah, I was going to say a little jump at the end of it. And also when, you know, you throw that many good overhand curveballs, you know, you can't really just sit on that dead fastball every time.
Two upstairs, 3-2. So that will release Napoli, who's been on base all 5 times today. 2 walks, hit by pitch, error, and a single. He's going to go. Boy, what a lead. He's almost a third of the way there. There he goes. And the pitch is high. So Robertson walks Morales. Hey fans, don't miss the WB Mason postgame coming up after the final out. Nancy Newman gives you all the highlights and analysis from this game against the Angels and all around the leagues. And Kim Jones has the postgame quotes from the clubhouse. It's the WB Mason postgame, and it's only on Yes. Remember everybody, tomorrow the finale of this series. Phil Hughes against Joe Saunders will be on the air at 12 with the BP show. 12:30 is the pregame, and 1:08 will be first pitch. Pitch outside to Rivera. And that one's punched out to right field. It's going to dunk in for a base hit. Here comes Napoli. It gets past Cabrera. And 2 runners are going to score. So a base hit for Rivera and E9 by Cabrera. And it's 8-1 Angels.
Michael, you said it was dunked in, and you watch this ball just hit and kick dead left. And as an outfielder, you got your momentum going, and it just absolutely took a right turn in Milky's eyes. But I don't see that very often. Not much you can do as an outfielder. You know, you kind of set yourself up in a straight line to make a good throw, and all of a sudden you don't get a true hop.
You know, I shouldn't be so quick to hand out the E9 because they could say it wasn't E9. Okay, because the scoring's been somewhat sketchy the last couple of days. But Jordan Spreckman is the official scorer today.
Boy, for a day that started out with CC Sabathia really looking like he was going to dominate from the first pitch, which he had good stuff, but it's turned ugly for the Yankees.
This bullpen thing's almost becoming a mental thing. That when you get to it, you know, they're just not shutting that door. You don't have anybody that comes in there with that attitude that you know, we're going to stay right here and our offense is going to come back. They just continue to add on, and late in the game that's tough.
Brandon Wood swings and misses, but 2 more runs for the Angels. 2 walks killed Robertson. 1 hit, 1 error, 1 man left. Last legs coming up for the Yankees. They trail by 7. player of the game is voted on by you, the fans, and the three of us here in the booth. Who is it, John?
Your Chevy player of the game is Matt Palmer. He gave up 1 run. That was in the first inning against the Yankees. And then he got nasty after that. 6 1/3, only gave up 3 hits, a couple of strikeouts, but most important for him, he only walked 2. That's been his big problem in his minor league career, but he did not walk too many today. Had a big outing. He's your Chevy player of the game.
Well, Mike Scioscia obviously does not have dinner plans in the city. He has Scott Shields warm up, and then he comes out to the mound to go to the bullpen. So Shields threw 6 pitches in the 8th inning, but he wants them available, obviously, for tomorrow. So he will go to the bullpen to pitch the bottom of the 9th. Stick around. With the Angels, coverage starts at noon with batting practice today in the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then me and Paul O'Neill and John Flaherty will have the call from the booth. Angels, Yankees, it all starts tomorrow at noon only on Yes. It should be me, it should be I, then I, Paul O'Neill and John Flaherty.
I would never correct you on that.
Oh, you know what? You should. That was egregious.
That was what?
It was bad.
Oh.
Fernando Rodriguez will make his major league debut here at the new Yankee Stadium. So he's got to have some butterflies right now. He'll face Robinson Cano, Melky Cabrera, and Angel Baroa. Robinson Cano needs a base hit to extend his hitting streak to 19 straight. He was robbed of a hit, a diving play by Kendrick up the middle in the 7th inning. And there's a strike.
He's the 4th player to make their major league debut with the Angels this season. Tells you about their injury problems.
And it looks like Cano's 18-game hitting streak is over. 1 away. So he went 0 for 4 with 4 ground balls, 2 to second, 1 to short, 1 back to the mound.
When you look back, Kendrick stole one from him, his 3rd at bat. So, you know, it's frustrating. You can tell that, you know, that's kind of weighing on him. But and that's what happens when you get in a game like this, where you look up, it's 8-1. You only got one thing left. You got 1 at bat. That's when those streaks and things start getting in your mind.
Melky Cabrera with a base hit in the 7th extended his hitting streak to 7 straight. Hitting .321, off to a very good start. The Yankees have won 5 straight games at home, 4 straight overall. And those streaks seem as if they're about to be snapped to count 2-1.
Three hits for the Yankees all day to this point, and it's, you're looking at the pitching matchup, CC Sabathia against Matt Palmer. You wouldn't expect 3 hits for the Yankees. Palmer got it done with that cut fastball.
Three-two. Foul back. And a walk to Cabrera, so the Yankees have a base runner here in the bottom of the ninth. Derek Jeter, like he jammed his neck in the first inning, but played the whole game. Actually picked up a double in the sixth inning, but a scary moment in the first inning. Ibar left the game with a fat lip, essentially. And Derek Jeter's been twisting his neck the whole day, but again, did not remove himself, so we'll see if he's in the lineup tomorrow. Here's Angel Baroa. Pitch upstairs.
Another coming off the bench. Haven't had it back in a while. The first one's right at your head. It's funny, you're always accustomed to looking up at the scoreboard, see what the Red Sox are doing, the Tampa Bay is doing, and now you keep track of Toronto because they're playing well in the extra innings today with Baltimore. So this division's going to start separating a little bit because the teams within the division are playing each other. And you're going to see if Toronto's kind of for real because they're playing some of the Eastern teams.
Yankees will go all Eastern next week, 2 against the Red Sox, 2 against Tampa Bay right here at the stadium, and 3 against Baltimore, and then they have 3 the next week against Toronto, in Toronto. Golfed foul.
Tampa Bay Red Sox tonight. Tim Wakefield 2-1, 1.86 to start the season. Knuckleballer on the roll early on.
Knuckleball must be working in April and May, huh?
Swing and a miss. Weak hack there by Baroa, and the Yankees down to their final out.
A lot of talk early on that Tim Wakefield might be the odd man out if John Smoltz comes back healthy. Nice game at Suzaka, working his way back.
I haven't heard much about Schmaltz. What was the time frame for him coming back?
Had a little setback the other day.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, it was supposed to be 2 months, and he took a little bit of a setback.
As we were up there last week, they were really excited.
Yeah.
They had to hold him back. He was feeling so good.
Here's Posada. Runner goes, and he'll take second on defensive indifference.
See, the guy knows the horses. He knows everything going on with the Red Sox guys. Rehab him. It's incredible.
Tried to trick him, and he just threw it in your face. And he threw the defensive differential. What'd you call it?
Defensive indifference.
There you go. He threw that one at you to the same line.
Jeff Weaver last night, he knew exactly where he was. Just got called up with the Dodgers.
It's my job, John. It's what I do. I really don't have that much else going on. So,
is that right?
Yeah.
Boy, you are a true sports fan, aren't you?
2-0 count on Posada, who pinch hit in the 7th inning and struck out. And there's a strike. Runner at second, 2 outs. Yankees down 8-1, bottom of the 9th inning. And the pitch. And that one gets through Napoli and rolls all the way to the Yankee on-deck circle as Melky goes to third on the wild pitch.
Looked like a change-up in the dirt. Just skips off a home plate, stays a little lower than Napoli thought it was going to.
And that one got Dana DeMuth on the left leg and kicked back. Rob Thompson, third base coach, talking things over with Melky Cabrera. (3-1). That one's driven to right field and deep. Going back is Matthews, looking up. See ya! Yankees are still alive. A 2-run home run by Posada, and it's 8-3 Angels.
Jorge Posada had a 2-run home run in last night's ball game, had the big game-winning hit. Thought he had a day off today. Finished it up with another shot into the Yankee bullpen. His 5th home run of the season.
Brett Gardner takes a pitch high.
You know, it's easy in an 8-1, then 8-1 game just to roll over a ground ball and we'll get it tomorrow. But, you know, Georgie has a lot of pride in what he does. It's good to see guys that just don't give up. It's an at-bat. It's a major league at-bat. Put something into it. Next thing you know, you hit a 2-run homer. You go home knowing that you feel good for tomorrow.
And the Yankees down to their final strike as the count is 1-2 on Gardner. And the pitch. Count 2-2. Fernando Rodriguez trying to close this out, his major league debut. And the pitch. Fouled away. And the count is full. So the Yankees trying to stage a 2-out rally here in the bottom of the ninth. Gardner 0 for 2 with a walk today. The 3-2. Fouled away. And Gardner keeps spoiling pitches. Mickey Hatcher sporting some funky shades.
Kind of goes along with his personality.
And another 3-2. Another foul ball. Joe Girardi seen his team win 4 in a row. That one's popped up by Gardner. Makes the first row out of play.
I guess, Paul, this is just like Jorge Posada. I mean, it's a 2-home run, feels good about himself, but 11th pitch of the at-bat coming up for Gardner. Try to put together a representative at-bat and take that into tomorrow.
The thing about it is, I'm just thinking the last 3 pitches have all been good pitches to hit. So in my mind as a hitter, I'm thinking, what is wrong? I can't center these pitches. I mean, they're good 3-2 fastballs down the middle. I should be able to hit this ball hard.
And that's up and in. So Gardner, an 11-pitch at-bat, works out a walk. And Mike Butcher, who's getting his running in this weekend, heads out to the mound.
Really looking forward to seeing Phil Hughes tomorrow to see if he can repeat what he did in Detroit. Another quality outing. Mentioned earlier, he covered a lot of speeds in that ball game. Good fastball, nice little cutter that covered that middle 80s zone, and then that quality curveball. A lot to handle if you're a hitter.
Here's Derek Jeter. Gardner will take second. And what's that call, Paul?
Indifference.
Defensive indifference.
Defensive indifference. In the old days, that was just a stolen base with no throw, wasn't it? Huh? How do we get to defensive indifference?
There's a strike. And this is not what Socha wanted with an 8-1 lead. He gets his bullpen up, his closer, Brian Puentes, who fouled yesterday, and Jason Bolger, who pitched earlier in the series. The 1-1. 2-1. The 2-1. Driven out to right field and deep. Going back, Matthews. He has room on the track. He dropped the ball. He dropped the ball. Gardner scores. And Jeter will head to third on the 3-base error by Gary Matthews Jr. And the Yankees have a pulse. It's 8-4.
Gary Matthews Jr. had a nice ball game last night. Today it's a little bit different. A routine fly ball. He just clanks it. You can see him glance up at the sun after he missed it. He's got the sunglasses on, trying to feel for the wall. Looks like he has it. It hits right off his glove. Now he looks up at the sun.
It kind of ricocheted off his jaw, too. Went off the side of his glove. And close it.
Oh,
Yeah.
right off the bill of the cap. Well, Mike Socha has to go to the bullpen. He's going to call in Bolger. Yankees still alive. The Angels, Derek Jeter's on third. Yankees are trailing 8-4. Johnny Damon will come to the plate. So Fernando Rodriguez, in his first major league appearance, saw things he probably didn't want to see. And Bolger doesn't want to see that ERA. 11 hits and 5 walks, 16 base runners in 7 2/3 innings. He threw 2/3 of an inning on Thursday, walked one and struck out one. And there's a strike. Breaking ball strike. Damon 0 for 4 today. Jeter 90 feet away with the 5th run. One and two. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that'll do it. As Bulger comes in to strike out Damon, and the Yankees fall short in the